From downtown, this is Tim Kitzrow from NBA Jam, and you're listening to NintenDomain Podcast. Boom shakalaka!
This week on NintenDomain, happy birthday Game Boy Advance and Resident Evil. Plus there's a Tomodachi Life demo.
Guess I'm about to get married for the third time.
Welcome to NintenDomain Podcast, episode 513. Your place to hear Nintendo fans celebrate multiple birthdays and talk about news and whatever else. And we are your hosts. I'm Trey, alive or dead, trust the Fed, Johnson.
And I'm Jeremy, there is heaven and hell. Bullet hell, Mikowski.
Bullet hell in Stardew Valley. So we're one host short this week because John was busy. Had some stuff to do, so he's taking a break from the show for the next couple episodes or something like that. So
we'll try our best to talk about FMV games if we remember.
We'll cover all of the RPG stuff that he falls asleep while we're talking about normally. So no, yeah, he's gonna, he might be out for a couple episodes, but he'll be back in April sometime. So it'll just be us two. Well, we might have a guest. I'm sure we've had guests before. We'll do some things, but today we got the Game Boy Advance to talk about, and we'll do that in the second half of the show. I figured we'd talk about our first experiences with the Game Boy Advance and favorite games and all that stuff. I mean, I know that one of us is rather fond of that little gem. I mean, I like it too. I mean, I've got like 5 of them, so I mean, I got a collection of Game Boy Advances.
Between the two of us, we've got a small army.
2 of them were from you, but yeah. I've got a few. I've got a few of them. But let's start off the show as we normally do and talk about games we got and games we've been playing. Did you get a chance to try out the Tomodachi Life demo?
I did not. I saw there was one though.
Yeah, it just dropped. It just dropped today, and I really haven't played it that much. Like I played it maybe for like a half hour. But there's also like, it's Tomodachi Life. It's like there's not really a whole lot to do, but it's definitely, it's cute. It's funny. If you like Miis, if you like making Miis, there's a lot more things to do now. There's a lot more hairstyles, different glasses now. You can put ears on your Miis finally. Like Miis never had ears before, but now they do. There's like 4 different ear options you can put on. There's elf ears too. You can get pointers on there if you want. But I started up just to see, what it's about. And it carries into the game, so that's cool. Those are always my favorite demos that you carry into it. And, you start off and you have to create a Mii. So I had a bunch of Miis on my system, basically that I made for Switch Sports when that came around, just to have that again.
Oh, yeah.
So there's like 3 different Jesses in there, and there's a few different versions. I think there's 3 of Mii, too.
Does it just automatically populate with the Mii you have?
No. You get options. Like it'll start and you have to create your own Mii, but it'll say like, do you want to look at the Miis that are on your system? And I had a good amount of ones that I had ported over from. There's a way to do it. It's weird, since there actually might have been able to like scan a QR code for it because it used to have a camera on the Switch one. I don't remember how I did it, but I got a few like Miis that I found online. Like I have a Captain Janeway on there. And like
cool.
And like Leela from Futurama, and I know there's an old Luke from The Last Jedi, but I made that one. That's the one that I made. But there's like Ash and like Special Agent Cooper from Twin Peaks. Those are like really old ones that I made in the Wii era that have like floated over. And I have like a Darth Vader and a bunch of other dumb shit on there. But they're all on there. So in the demo, you can only have 3 Miis on your island, though. And the regular game, you can have 8. So you can only have 3, and you can only add a third one when your 2 become friends. So I put myself on there, and I think it was a Mii that I probably like touched up or changed or whatever. Like I said, whenever I got Switch Sports, and so I used that one. But I changed. I was trying. There's like so many new different hairstyles and bigger beards, so I was able to give myself like a much longer beard and all that, and
Seems accurate.
Make my glasses look a little bit more like my glasses because there's more. Like I said, there's more glasses. Gave myself ears now, so I can have ears, and just kind of made my character a little bit different. And then it and you name your island just like you would in Animal Crossing and all that, and you make your character, and there's like different, you can mess with like different sliders for your voice and stuff like that. We kind of messed around because there's just me and Jess on the island. That's the only people that are there. So, but I waited to make Jess until they got home so I could be like, all right, well, what do you want to do? Like so we kind of fucked around with the voice options a little bit, like changing the pitch and like tone and like delivery and like you can mess around with it and it'll kind of like vocode it a little bit too, where your voice will be like, you can do some fun shit like that. And there's like a personality slider thing too, where it's like, all right, well, would you say that you think more serious or more chill, or are you more like, whatever? And I was trying to do it like me, and the me ends up like, you're like a social butterfly and you love being around people. And I'm like, no.
You kind of do.
It's like, how did you come up with that? I hate that. I don't do anything anymore. I stay at home and play video games.
Yeah,
alone.
but when
That's
you're around people, you do tend to.
Well, if I have some drinks, I guess, but that's liquid courage, But no, most of the time I don't like being around people. But I was kind of like, how did it come up with that? But whatever. So it shows once you make a me, it it pulls back and it shows me like introduce the island. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I should post this. And I captured it on my Switch, on the Switch. And I was like, oh, I thought you couldn't do that. And then you can capture it. You can capture all you want, but you can't send it to your phone. Like, that's the thing.
Oh, it stays like isolated to the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways around it. Obviously, if you hook up your Switch to your computer or whatever, and like have like a capture card and whatnot. Or I've already seen people filming their Switch with their camera and posting it online because it's like.
Do you think you could get it off your memory card onto your computer?
Oh, I guess you could do it like that too. Yeah, yeah. No, and you can pull your captures off there. It's just hard because they're not labeled at all. Like they're just like random numbers, so it's really hard for you to figure out what's what. Like, because I did actually try pulling all my videos off of my card one time, but I have so many on there and they're not labeled in any way. Like it's all just random numbers, so it's really hard to figure out like what is what. Like you can't do like you would on the Switch and be like, all right, this is for this game, this is for this game. It's just like, here's a bunch of videos.
Yeah.
You have to watch all of them to see what's on them, and I'm like, oh no, I can't do that. But I guess you could do it like that. But it's just like, yeah, they didn't want you to post videos. It makes no sense to me. Like, isn't that the whole point of this fucking game, is to get like silly videos of your Mii's doing weird shit? And
yeah, I think it would get people excited and they'd want to download the demo and play it.
Yeah, and make the memes and all that, and apparently I saw someone saying that their Mii's were already cussing. I don't know how you get to that, but or they found
very
a way
clever
to do
people.
It. But but I did see
Phonetics.
some people capturing it with their phone, because it's just so weird to me, because I've been just for the hell of it, I've been posting like 30-second videos to the NintenDomain Facebook group, the NintenDomain Facebook group, and I actually got like 2,000 views for one of my Gale of Darkness videos that is just like a cutscene. But anyway, I don't know. People look at that shit, so I was like, oh, cool. I could just say
Yes,
like, hey, the demo's out, and I can't, because I can't send it to my phone from my Switch. So, wah.
Yeah, we probably need to start posting clips. I've been saying that for years.
I've just been because I do 30-second clips all the time when I'm playing Switch 2. So I like, especially now on Switch 2 where there's not a limit to how many clips you can do. Like in Switch 1 you can only do like 1,000, but Switch 2 it's limitless as long as you have space, which is awesome, because I got tired of having to delete everything when I got to a certain level. But now it's just like, as long as you have space, you can capture for days. But anyway, yeah, I've been trying to put up a capture every day on the NintenDomain Facebook. Look it up. There's some shit up there. But I don't know. I got some decent traffic for it, so whatever. But I can't do it for Tomodachi Life, so whatever. So I have my Mii on there, and I have Jess on there, and I introduced them to each other. And of course, you can do your pronouns and all that. Oh my God, it's great.
Nintendo's gone woke.
Yeah. But no, it's cool. Like, it's nice to be able to click non-binary, and you can say like what your pronouns are, and it'll also ask you like if you went to a wedding, would you wear a suit or a dress, or you could say both. I said both. Why not? Let's have fun here. Let's wear whatever. So and you can also say like who you want to date, or if you don't want to date anybody, or or like you can say whether if you add the me's and they're related. Like I couldn't put that we were married, but I put like that we were partners, and it's like, well. It's like you're partners in real life, but not in the game because you have to meet each other again or whatever.
Oh,
like so, because they act like they don't know each other when they're just. I just got them to say hello, and there was like a restaurant that popped up where you can buy food and you can feed your Miis with your food because they got a stomach meter and all that. And I bought a few items and I was very happy that my Mii liked nachos because if they didn't, I'd be like, what the fuck is with this game? Nachos are great. Why would you make me not like them?
Nachos are pretty dang good.
I do like nachos. So it's so far it's my favorite food in the game that has been accessible. There's only there's nachos and apples and cookies and what's the other thing? And there's another thing too. Oh, a fried egg. So my top two favorite things are nachos and a fried egg because that's like all I've eaten in the game. But yeah, no, I mean you can fuck around with it for a while. It told me you get like a water fountain that you can fill with your warm fuzzies, as they call them. I'm sure you've heard about those in high school. But warm fuzzies, like you put them in a jar and you pour them into the water fountain, and you get wishes for it. And I basically the game said, all right, well you've gotten all the wishes that you can get for the demo, and I'm like, okay. It's like, and also you've gotten all the money you can get for the demo. It's like, all right, well I've done everything, even though I don't have 3 Miis yet. So what the hell? But yeah, every time you feed food to your character, you get money back for it. So you buy food and then you feed them and then you get your money back. So it's like, you're not ever really running out of money, I guess. But I guess eventually you can buy different stores and move them around. I'm still not really decided on this game. I'm probably not going to get it because, like I said, there's not a whole lot of gameness to it, and I'm not that excited about Miis, about having Miis running around.
It's like whatever. An aquarium.
Yeah. Or like an ant farm or whatever. Like I bought the I got like a buy two get one free thing for the 3DS one. And I've said before, I played around with it a little bit, but it was kind of like, I was like, I don't really know what to do. I mean, I think they just expect me to just watch the Miis interact with each other and be like, oh, hey, that's funny, or whatever, I need a little bit more of a video game-ness to it. I need something to do other than just be like, oh, yeah, they're there.
Yeah.
But it's worth trying it out. I'm glad there is a demo out there. So, cool. And whenever the Mii of Jess and Trey will eventually become friends, and then we can have a third Mii there. I'm like, who else will we put in there? I was like, I don't know.
Do you think there's some couples out there living out their swinger fantasy through Tomodachi life?
I don't know. Can you? I
mean,
know.
It's a safe way to do it.
I don't know if you can do like paramour the relationships or whatever in Tomodachi.
Yeah, I guess it'd be just more like swapping.
Can you drink? Can you date more than one person?
Can you dump someone?
I don't know. I think I really don't know.
Can you turn them into dubs?
I don't know how that works. In the original one, I just moved our characters lived together, the Jess and Trey characters lived together, and they kind of got married on their own. Like they just did it in the game. I was like, okay, cool. So they just happened to have personalities that worked out together. But yeah, no, it's there. You could try it out. I don't know. That's all I can really say about that. But oh yeah, and you get a hamster costume for playing the demo. So you get a hamster costume when the actual game comes out. So you got that to look forward to. I downloaded the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Switch 2 update, and I was disappointed to find out that it's a completely other game.
You have to download it separate.
So it shows up as 2 different apps. So if you played Tomb Raider on Switch 1, none of your stuff transfers to Tomb Raider on Switch 2.
Oh, that's lame.
You get it for free, but it's a whole different app. So I turned it on, and it's like, oh, you have no saves, and I'm like, eh. So I deleted it. Because it's like, what the fuck,
That's
man?
annoying.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll update that in the future.
So I learned that I could delete it, that I could download it for free, but it doesn't update. Most of the time it just updates your Switch 1 app, but it adds a second Switch 2 app that doesn't carry anything over. And I was like, well, that's
really strange.
Why would you do that? So I tried out that, but I did actually buy some new games.
Cool.
So I finally did that. That's what I talked about. That was my middle name earlier when I said Alive or Dead, Trust the Fed. That's a line from the credits song of Starship Troopers Ultimate Bug War.
Oh, you beat it.
It's
Which I knew that.
it's not long, yeah, but I did beat it, yeah. But it's fun, yeah. No, I got Starship Troopers Ultimate Bug War. I really wanted to get it, and it was only on sale for so long, so that was kind of a little push for me to pick it up because I was like, well, I want to get it, and if I wait till it's 25, then I probably won't get it. I want to get it when it's 19.99. So I did that, and also I had a job this week finally, first of the year, but I had some extra.
Good job.
Had some extra dough coming in, so I was like, well, I think I can buy a $20 game. But no, I did get it. It's it's a first person shooter. As I said, it's a first person shooter, but it feels like it's supposed to be like a Doom style type game, but it is a little bit more advanced than those. Obviously, it's got some extra stuff to it. But the idea of it, and I kind of like how it's all kind of its own joke. And I guess if you don't really understand what Starship Troopers is, you may not get it. I'm wondering how many younger people play this game and don't really understand, don't get like the sarcasm of it or whatever. Because the idea is like, so there's two main characters from the movie that are in there, and there's FMV cutscenes like crazy. Like pretty much after every level you beat, there's an FMV thing. And the idea is that you're one of the female characters from the original movie is like recounting her like some missions that she did like in the past, and you're playing through like her history or whatever. And the idea is it's a video game to get kids to join the army, to join the Starship Troopers army. So there's like a whole little cutscene there that with the kid playing the game, and then it shows him enlisting in the army and all that. So that's kind of the joke, is it's supposed to be meta. Like they made this game to get you to want to kill bugs like in real life, and to go join the army and get murdered on all that. There's a whole cutscene where it's like, hey, join the army and we'll help you buy a tombstone and and all this stuff, it was there's one that I thought was pretty funny because it reminded me of Resident Evil Requiem, but they're like, or you can get cremated and we'll turn your ashes into bullets and we'll kill bugs with you, and I'm like, wow. Okay. So they're really just going for it. And it does I do think it still kind of has some of the charm of the original movie. But yeah, they're definitely like really, talking about how incredibly expendable you are in joining the army, and they expect you to get killed by bugs or whatever. Bugs. Even to the point that like it's supposed to be like a co-op thing, but it's not annoying like most co-op games. Like it doesn't really matter like if any of your teammates like live or die, and they will run in front of you all the time while you're shooting. So you're shooting
fire.
So like so yes, you can. So you'll end up killing a lot of your own troops often in this game, and I think that's supposed to be kind of the joke of it, is that you're trying to kill a bug and they'll just run in front of you and they'll explode and as you're trying to shoot the bug. And I found a cheat in the game just where you can make it more violent, just to where the bugs explode whenever you destroy them. And I actually kind of like that better, because if you don't have that on, there's all these like bug bodies that stick around the levels, and I don't know, you can't always tell whether they're dead or not. So I was like, I prefer the exploding bug thing, because then I'll know that I did away with them and all that.
That makes sense.
But I found it pretty hard for first person shooters. I actually did turn it down to easy, because it was a little too much I was dying like crazy like on the first level even, So, and it's got like 6 different difficulties and all that, so I guess I could always go back and do that. And there's like accessibility options to where like you can make yourself invincible, you can give yourself infinite ammo. Like there's a bunch of stuff like that if you want to just play it. And I thought about that, like just doing like hardest difficulty and with invincible ammo, because or with unlimited ammo, because like that was the thing that was bugging me, is that I was running out of ammo a lot. And the way the game works is like, there's basically drops. There's like ammo drops that you get, but you can only like refill your ammo like twice from the ammo crate.
Oh,
and then it closes, and then you can't get anything. So a lot of times I found myself running out of ammo, and I'm like, all right, well, what the fuck do I do? Because the bugs don't give you ammo. They just die. So it's like, so I'll just running around with no ammo, and I'm like, I can't shoot anybody, and I don't have any grenades or anything, and that was what I was having the hardest time with. So I put it on easy, and I would run out of ammo less, because it took less ammo to kill the bugs. But it's maybe like 7 levels or something like that. Like there's not a whole lot, but I mean, like I said, I wasn't that angry to have a game that I could beat in like 2 days, because I feel like I've played enough games that are like 100 hours long or whatever, especially coming off of like those Yakuza games that I put so much time into. But it was nice to just have a game I could just beat in a couple days, and it wasn't really that stressful. I could just kind of turn my mind off and just blow up bugs, and then laugh at silly propaganda commercials and all that. That's really what all the F&B stuff is. But I thought the F&B stuff was a nice touch. Like if it wasn't there, I don't think the game would be as cool. But there's 7 like human missions, but there's also bug missions in there where they're like, oh, in order to understand the bug, we must do these bug simulation at levels where you could see it from the other side of the bug. So you play as this main bug, and you have like 3 different forms that you can turn into, and it's kind of more like a strategy thing. And I found those really fun too. Like so you basically have your regular like bug where you just like attack them with your pincers or whatever, and there's another form where you can turn into like a flamethrower bug, and you can like blast a lot of like fire around to kill a bunch of people at once. But there's also a flying form where you can kind of like fly around, so you can fly up really high and then just go from like one spot to the level to another, and that's really cool.
That is cool.
So the idea is there's like different sections that you have to like destroy. So there'll be like, attack this, attack that, and you go there and you destroy like specific tents. There's like human tents, as they call them, that you destroy, or there'll be like these defense towers that electrocute you, but you can find where the electricity is coming from, and you destroy you destroy like the transformer or the generator or whatever, and then they'll turn off, and then you can go through. So there's kind of like a little bit more of a strategy to that. And and you basically want to destroy all the levels. And there's these bug nests that you can find. And when you find a bug nest, your life will refill. You'll get your life brought back. But also, if you haven't been to the nest before, bugs will come out of it to help you. So you want to kind of like build your army like that. So you want to visit as many bug nests as you can before you go to invade like the human bases or whatever. And you just go there and you destroy everything, and eventually there's like a base in the middle that you'll be able to destroy, that has a shield around it that'll disappear once you destroy all the other bases. That's kind of how it is.
Do you see the humans like killing each other on accident and stuff?
I mean, they're like little sprite characters that you can like you can run over them and like squash them and all that stuff. Like you see them attacking you, and there'll be different troops, like ones that have like flamethrowers that'll like hurt you a lot more. So you want to stay away from them, and that sort of thing. And there's a bunch of different bugs. Like you can unlock all the different bugs that you fight in the game to be on your team. So there'll be like the flying bugs, and I guess I didn't find out until the end of the game that you're actually playing as an assassin bug, because I didn't know what an assassin bug was until the end of the game. But apparently the story is like a friend of yours gets killed by an assassin bug in the first level. And at the very end, you get to finally kill an assassin bug. And she's like, yeah, give me the bug. I want to kill that fucking bug. Like she's so, excited about destroying the assassin bug because her friend was killed in the beginning of the game. But I didn't even realize that that's what you were piloting in the bug missions, because I'd never seen one until the very end. And I was like, oh, I guess that is an assassin bug. Because like one of the
ones with like the big wheel on their back.
No, they're these big blue ones that I hadn't seen in the game. And the last 2 levels of the bug missions, it's like, well, we killed the assassin's bug, but let's pretend that they're still alive and do these levels. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that's the assassin bug. I didn't even know. But yeah. But one thing I thought was like really missing from this game, since you have these bug missions and you got the human missions, like, why is there not some sort of cool like co-op or some sort of cool like bugs versus humans multiplayer thing in here? Like,
that would be cool.
Like kind of like, I don't know, like you say, or what was it? Like the Friday the 13th game where like one of you is Jason and the rest of the people are the campers, like something like that, where some people play as the bugs and they would do like the bug type missions, but you could also play as the humans and fight against them. Like, I felt like that was really a missed opportunity there, since you kind of have these 2 different types of gameplay. It would have been cool to have some sort of multiplayer thing, even if it wasn't online. Like, I don't know, a couch like multiplayer thing, because there's no multiplayer at all. It's all single player. But when you see like these different sides, it's like, well, and you're playing like the same levels kind of, You'll do it as a human and then you'll do it as a bug. It's like, why can't these come together? And I just think it could be really cool. Like, match, like bugs versus humans, and I don't know, like back on like Perfect Dark when you could play all of the bad guys versus one, like counter op as they called it, where one of you is
Cool.
Joanna Dark and everybody else. You can basically play like one villain at a time, but you'll if you get killed, you'll jump to another person, like Matrix style or whatever. I always thought that was a really cool idea, and I was like, why do other games should have that, where they just let you play as the bad guys, or I don't know.
I agree.
I felt like that was a missed opportunity, but it was fun for what it was. It was a silly first-person shooter game that I didn't really need to think that hard about, and that's kind of what I was looking for. So
Sometimes all you need. That's like how that RoboCop game was for me. It was so dumb,
just run around
so
and kill
enjoyable.
Shit. Yeah,
Yeah, you just blow everything up.
RoboCop and Starship Troopers is the same director, so they
Oh, okay.
they're in the same. They're both Verhoeven movies, so they're in the same world. You would say
There you go.
it's made by the same dude. So that they're probably definitely trying to go for that same feeling, Oh yeah, and there's a part towards the end where you find like regular like Doom weapons, like you find like a shotgun and a automatic rifle, and then at that part like everything goes dark and it makes it look like Doom for a second, and then there's a bunch of humans that are possessed by bugs that you have to fight, and I was like, oh, this is kind of funny. They're 100% trying to be like, all right, this is Doom right now for a second. It's like, all right. But those guys continue on like later into the game, and you have to try to figure out who's possessed by the bug and which one's your guys. Like I said, you can kill your own guys; it doesn't really matter. But if you're trying not to, it'd be like, wait, who's who? But it really doesn't matter. I don't even feel like they helped you that much. Like when I heard it was like a co-op thing, I was afraid I'd be like protecting a lot of shit, and I hate doing like escort missions. Like nobody likes doing that. And there's a lot of like defending missions too, where it's like defend this base, but it's not like any other game. Like your base can't be destroyed. All you have to do is kill every bug that comes to the base. That's all you have to do. But there's no way you can like fail because a building gets blown up or something like that. So it's not as annoying as most of those missions would be. I actually liked it because it's just like, and it'll put little skulls above the bugs. It's like, here, kill these bugs, and then you kill them. It's like you defended the base. It's like, all right, cool, So there was that, but yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's fine enough for what it is. It'd be cool if it had some DLC in the future when you could do some multiplayer stuff. But I did get a roguelite also. Just I don't know, against better judgment. No, I just really liked the way it looked. Like I saw videos of it, and we played enough video games. You watch a game for like 2 seconds, and you can tell whether it's good or not, or you can tell by the way it moves, like whether it'd be interesting to play or not. And I just really liked the way this one looked. It got a lot of really good reviews. It was on the last direct we had, the last partner showcase, and that game is Deadzone Rogue, which is another first-person shooter that's for Switch 2 only. Well, Ultimate Bug Force is for Switch 2 only. Also, there's not a Switch 1 version.
Okay,
but Deadzone Rogue is what it's called, and it's interesting. You're basically you're on a spaceship. And I think what's really cool about this versus most games is it doesn't really tell you anything at all. And you kind of, your main character has amnesia. They have no idea why they're dying and being reborn. And they even say that in the game, like, what the fuck is happening? Like, and I've died like so many times where the person was like, it was like, I don't remember what life was like before, like dying and getting restarted in this game. like they say that at one point. But you'll find things in the game, and your character will like talk about them, and that's basically the story. That's the environmental storytelling or whatever, as you reacting to stuff that you see in the game as you get to new levels, which is cool. Like I've never really seen that. So I haven't really seen any like big cutscenes or anything like that. It's just you experiencing shit and your character talking about it. And it's got crossplay. I haven't played online at all just because I've just been trying to do it on my own. But it's got like sections of like 30. So there's basically it's like whatever you would call it, procedurally generated and all that. Mm-hmm. And there's 30 sections, but they're all kind of like they'll be the same. Like let's say like the third section you fight spiders like every time. Like it's always that. It's always that with spiders. So I guess actually I don't think the levels are actually different. I think it's just the stuff that you get as you go through it is different. But because like the first one, and the idea is you go into a room, you have to kill everybody in there, and then you get a prize at the end, and that's what's different every time. Is whatever your prize is, and you can
They're
build
like perks and buffs and stuff.
Yeah, your boons or whatever. But there's also you also get stuff that you collect where you can upgrade yourself, after you die also. So there's some things that carry on, like you can make your, make like your health stronger and raise your defense and make your guns like have higher attacks and all that sort of stuff. So there are
permanent.
there are some permanent things that happen after you get killed. But what I really actually another thing I think is really cool about it is it has this it has this stealth mode. So like whenever you enter into any room, your character becomes completely invisible to everyone in the room, and you can basically walk around until you shoot anything and see what's there. So you can go and look at what all the different, and this is really important later in the game, is to know what enemy types there are because they all move differently. Because there's these zombies in there called the mindless that will like fucking run at you like really fast once they know that you're there. So it's good to know that they're in there or not. And there's like explodable barrels that you can pick up and you can throw at the enemies and place in different areas to try to like kill like maybe 4 or 5 at once, like before you start. So there's a lot of like strategy to it. It's like one of the most
You kind of like lay out traps and stuff before you start it.
Yeah, you can do stuff like that. Yeah, it's kind of it's probably one of the most strategic first-person shooter games that I've played. And I got pretty far. I was trying to... So there's like 4 areas that have like 30 levels each. And I imagine that once you beat one, you don't have you can go, you don't have to go back to that one again. But I got to like level 24, and there's 30 of them. So I got pretty far.
Okay.
And for a while there, I could only get to 13 because that's where the zombies were. But, you have to figure out how to deal with them. It's like... it's like I got to level 3 and the spiders were killing me. And once I figured out how to kill the spiders, then I got past that. And then I got to the zombies. And once I figured out how to do away with the zombies quick enough, because like I said, they'll get on you and they'll kill you real quickly. But there's like, there's power-ups that you can get where like you get your health back by killing a guy. Like you get like 10% of your health back by killing. Or there's stuff where like your damage is higher if your health is lower, or your damage is higher if your health is higher. Like there's a bunch of stuff like that in there. And there's different like elemental attacks that you can do. There's like this void attack where a big like purple bubble will like go around the character and it'll kind of explode and hurt like every other enemy around it. There's lightning attacks too, where like where they'll get struck by lightning while you're shooting them. There's like fire attacks where they'll burn. They'll have damage after they get shot. There's same thing with your grenades. You can attach like or you can get different grenades that have different environmental damage to them and all that. So it's like. Okay. I don't know. It's I was having a pretty good time with it, even though I was still getting killed. But we'll see how long I can stick with it. A lot of the problem with these roguelites is most of the time I'll just run into this boss that I just can't kill, and I'll die and I'll keep getting back to the boss and getting killed, and eventually I'll just not want to play the game anymore because I can't beat this stupid boss. That's kind of what happened to me with the Splatoon side order. The same thing with the fucking whatever it was, the robot schoolgirl game that I got. Like there was one boss I couldn't beat, and so I'm gonna try to get farther with this because I do, like I said, I really like the way it plays. It's got like it's got like a it's got like 120 hertz, like 60 FPS mode or whatever that looks real nice. It moves real smoothly, and it's it's got its own like switch to type stuff. Like I like the way it moves. The weapons are really cool. You can only carry 2 weapons at once, but you have a melee attack that you can do as well, and you get this like this like kind of lightsaber axe thing that you can cut through people with, and you can upgrade that too, and you get a bunch of different armor that you can upgrade, and it's all just like, and there's every like 4 or 5 levels or sections, there's like kind of an area where you'll get some of your health back, and there's like a computer that you can buy stuff with stuff that you've collected, so you can like upgrade your weapons that you have, or you can buy different weapons or whatever. And there's different, there's obviously there's like sniping rifles and shotguns and machine guns and whatever. Like I've had all sorts of different things, and a lot of weapons like I've got it like once and then I've never seen it again, because like roguelite or whatever. But I don't know. I like it for what it is. I don't know. It was pretty addicting, but it's also like it's a hard like, chill out game because it's too like, I don't know, because you're too like, I don't want to die. I want to get to the next thing, and I've gotten stuck. I'm stuck again. Now because I defeated the spiders, I defeated the zombies, but then I found spider bosses, like giant spiders, and I can't beat them. That's the farthest I got was to a room with like 3 giant spiders, and they basically like spread web on the ground that will like hit you if you touch it, and they cover like the whole area, and they're really fast, and there's little ones too, which are really really fast, and they just all crept up on me, and I got killed, which sucked because you get a really really good build, and it's like and then it's like I'm doing great, and then you run into a fucking spider boss, and then you get killed. So that's what happened, and then I tried playing it again, and then I died like in the 5th level, and I'm like, all right, F this game. But I'll come back and play it some more.
Be very rewarding.
But that one was on sale too. It was another one of those $25 on sale for $20. I think it's on sale for $20 like through the end of the month. So I guess I didn't really need to get it that quickly. I just I don't know. I saw some footage of it, and I saw that there were a lot of people were giving it good reviews or whatever. So I was like, well, I should try it. And I did enjoy it, but we'll see how long I stick with it for, since it ends up killing me most of the time. But the game I've been playing the most since last week is Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. I got 15 hours into it so far, so I've been having a pretty good time with it. I saw online that people said that they've been having issues with it, where there's been a glitch, I guess, where the game has been like erasing your save. I really hope that doesn't happen to me, because I don't want to. I would stop playing if that happened. That would be really make me angry. Like, I've saved through the game, and you can save whenever you want in the game, which is great. I think every Pokemon game you can save wherever you want. You don't really have to go to a save point. But I've never loaded my game from the main screen, because I've been doing like save states, of course, also. And whenever I boot up the game, I'll just go straight to the save state, so I don't have to watch any of the opening or whatever. It'll go right back into the action like super quickly. So that's what I've been doing, and I haven't ran into any sort of problem with that. I guess people have been just saving in the game, and then when they go and reload the game, then maybe the save isn't there.
Yes.
And Nintendo had addressed it and said they would fix it, but they also said use the save states. They're there. But I don't know. Like I said, I've had no problems with it. I also saw some people saying that it crashed. Never crashed on me. Ultimate Bug War crashed one time for me, but that game auto saves all the time, so it didn't matter. But no, Gale of Darkness has been great. I love the way the animations look for the fights in there, and it's just I kind of miss the old school Pokemon. And this is back when Pokemon was hard. I mean, not that it's not hard now, but this game is hard. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to get very far. Like, I got the idea that I was like, all right, so I'm catching all of these shadow Pokemon, and I need to fight with them on my team to get their shadow meters down and all that. So I was like, well, I should make a whole team of shadow Pokemon. Don't do that. That's like hard mode. It's like basically hard mode. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. Because if you have shadow Pokemon, they gain experience points, but they don't get them until you purify them. So if you're running around through a dungeon with 6 shadow Pokemon, they'll always stay at whatever level they are. So if the bad guys are scaling up as they do in this game, you're kind of screwed. You're going to start with level 10, and then when you get to level 20s or whatever, you're still level 10. Because even though you're getting experience points, so you won't get it until you take them and make them not shadow Pokemon, and then they'll get all the experience points that you've been building up.
So you have to purify them outside of the temples? Yeah,
there's a specific place that you go to that's the same. It's the same place in a Pokemon Coliseum. That's I think that's what originally turned me off about Gale of Darkness, is they reuse a lot of the assets from Coliseum. So I was like, oh well, I've already done this, So that's, but I didn't play it for that long. I was like, oh, but I know this fucking place. There's this magic tree that you go to. Actually, I think it's a rock or something that glows, and you go to it, and your Pokemon will be redeemed or whatever. But what's different in Gale of Darkness versus the other one, which I didn't get this far, is the professor dude that gets kidnapped, which you rescue him. He's your first mission that you do. Yeah. Once you rescue him and bring him back, he makes his own a shadow Pokemon revive thing, where you basically take a shadow Pokemon and put it in the middle, and you surround them with other Pokemon that are not shadow, and that will speed up the process of their shadow meter going down. So you basically build a bunch of different things, you get enough Pokemon where and there's like 7 different slots you can put them in or whatever, and you throw all your shadow Pokemon in there and let them get, and there's a rhythm or tempo that they call it. It's basically like putting like close types next to each other. So like if you got an ice Pokemon, an ice shadow, put another ice shadow next to it, and it'll it'll become better quicker, like that sort of thing. And it'll show you a little tempo meter saying like how fast it will be. It'll be like unshadowed or whatever, depending on how many you put in there. But if you got, like I said, if you got enough regular Pokemon, just you can put 4 around them, and then it'll be much quicker. So that's the way to do it. Like don't fucking bring your shadow Pokemon with you. Just put them in that thing, and it'll like send you a little text message or whatever within the game whenever they're ready to be I forget what they call it. It's not redeemed, but it's something like that. Purified. It's whenever they want to be purified, they'll tell you.
So once they're purified, they just turn into like a non-shadow version of whatever they are?
Yeah, whenever they're purified, they turn into the regular version of the Pokemon, and they'll get like I said, they'll get any of the experience points that you would have gotten fighting with them as shadow Pokemon then, and you'll get level up, and some, and they'll still evolve. Like there's ones that'll evolve and all that, if they get to a certain point. But no, it just makes them. It just gives them like their regular moves, because you'll get a couple different shadow moves that you can only use like as shadow Pokemon, but then they'll get their regular Pokemon moves after they get redeemed or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, the whole thing is you can't level them up until they're purified. So it'll kind of screw you over if you take a whole team of them with you, as I learned quickly that I was getting one-shotted. But no, this game is hard. Like you have to. You got to pay attention to what you're doing. You got to level up the right types, the right Pokemon types, because if you don't, you're gonna get fucked when you hit a boss that, like when they got some level 30s or whatever, and you got level 19s, you're gonna get knocked down. So
yeah,
it reminds me of the old Pokemon before like Game Share, or what was it? Not Game Share. Before Experience Share, where you got to put whatever Pokemon you want to level up. You put them at the front of your party. And when you go to the battle, you automatically pull them out and then put the strong one in. But they'll still get the experience. This is what I used to do all the time back on Pokemon Red and Blue. But you got to do that for this game, because this game is 2005, baby. But no, it was made, I think it was made like right after, it's in between Red and Ruby Sapphire and Diamond and Pearl, I believe. But there are a couple Pokemon that you can find from Diamond and Pearl in Gale of Darkness, which is pretty cool. And I found one of them. I found Munchlax, which is which you find out is basically what evolves into Snorlax. So I always like Snorlax, and Munchlax is the younger Snorlax or whatever.
It's like when they brought in Pichu.
Yeah, it's like Pichu, yeah, like Pichu with Pikachu, like that sort of thing. And basically what you do is you can catch wild Pokemon, quote unquote, in this game. Not the same way you would in the Game Boy. Like there's no tall grass for you to walk through or anything like that. But there's these Pokemon spot areas that they call, and you can buy Pokesnacks, and you basically set up a trap there, and you can put a bunch of snacks there, and random wild Pokemon will come there that aren't shadow ones. And same thing, like your little, it's called the PDA. It's called a PDA, but it's called like your Pokemon data or whatever. It'll send you a text message whenever they are eating the food. And then you basically just go back there and see whatever's there. But you can find Munchlax in that. And you can't fight him, but he'll like show up and this old lady will be like, oh, that's my Munchlax, whatever. But this is a character that had not been introduced at all at this time. And you don't see them later until Diamond and Pearl. So it's cool that there's like some, there were some new things in Gale of Darkness that was not in any of the other Pokemon games at the time.
Like a little tease.
Aside from like the shadow stuff. But there's teases to the next game in there. There's another Pokemon you can find too that I haven't found yet. I don't remember what they're called. But I found Munchlax, which I like, so.
Which is what I do when I can't go.
Munchlax.
Yeah.
That's like all the shit that I took before my colonoscopy, right? I mean, I think it was Dulcolax, but still, it was not great. But yeah, it's a good time. I just what did I do? I just went to an area where they basically all got kidnapped, and the equivalent to Team Rocket, they basically turned into all the people there. So you have to they'll be like, oh no, I'm not this character. I'm actually really the bad character, and then you got to fight them, and they all got shadow Pokemon, so you get a bunch of different guys there. And I got to this like Neo Matrix looking guy at the end. And like I was saying, I didn't have the right Pokemon, so I got my ass handed to me. So I did get a game over in the game. Well, it's Pokemon. You don't get a game over. You just pass out, and then you go back to the Pokemon headquarters. And I just went. There's an area, because this game's kind of harder to grind because there's no, like I said, there's no wild area or whatever. So, but there is like there's like a championship, like 100 battle thing that you can do. And you can kind of start like whatever level you want, or you can start from like the first, the second, or third level. So I basically went there and I went to the third level, and I did the same thing, like put whatever Pokemon in the front that I wanted to level up, and put them in the front, but then switch them into my stronger ones, and like I said, doing all that shit that I did in like the first few Pokemon games. So it is kind of fun to play the old school Pokemon. And I don't know if I end up beating this, I figured I'd buy myself whatever, Fire Red or Leaf Green, because I always did want to play that. Speaking of Game Boy Advance.
Oh, yeah.
Game Boy Advance game. But the other thing that I did is I started watching the Yakuza show on YouTube. And I fucking love it. It's so good. I'm wondering if anybody else would like it if you didn't play the game, because it is so like, it really relies on your love of the game for you to like it. But I really don't care for most video game adaptations or movies or whatever. But this one I can get into, because like they're really just, I feel like they're aiming for the fences for the fans here, because like Kamurocho in this show is the Kamurocho from the video game. Like they didn't, like, it's a green screen. It's like Kiryu walking in front of a green screen that shows like the graphics of the Kamurocho from PS3 behind him. And it's kind of amazing. I love it. So like all of the locations he goes to are straight out of the game. Like they didn't, like there's some live action stuff obviously, but when he like walks to a specific place that from the game, it's from the game. And they kind of green screens him on top of that, which is great. But at the very beginning of the first episode, Kiryu's like going to shake somebody down for money, like back when he's in the Yakuza still. And like and there's a battle, and like the battle music kicks in, like the music that's from the game, and I was like, all right, this is cool. But yeah, no, I was really getting into it, and I watched the first 2 episodes, and they're an hour long, so I've watched 2 hours of it. It's a 3-hour thing, but yeah, no, I really dig it. But I wonder if anybody who isn't that familiar with the story of Yakuza 1 is basically what it's following, if you would get as much enjoyment out of it. It's really interesting to see, like, I get a kick out of seeing like who they cast for the different characters, because these characters are so like memorable. I think the guy who's doing Majima is really good. Like Majima's been funny, and he shows up and hands you a healing item, and I laughed at that, because obviously that's what he would do in the game. He's like, "Oh, here's stamina, and take this to get your life back." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's great." Oh, and there's a part where Kiryu's walking around Kamurocho, and he's talking to like NPCs, and they do it to where his like mouth doesn't move, and he's just like, "Hey." And then there's like a static, there's basically like a dialogue block under him, like showing what he's saying, but he's not saying it. And same, the person he's talking to will be like, "Hey," and then it'll show like a whole paragraph of them saying anything, but they're not saying it. And they're all like standing still, and they're doing the same movements that they would in the game. It's so ridiculous, but I love it. It's ridiculous and amazing at the same time.
Where is this? Is this on Amazon?
It's on YouTube. It's on
YouTube.
It's on IGN actually. It's on IGN's account, but I think it's on Sega's YouTube channel now too.
Okay.
Just look up. It's called it's like mixed with some Japanese TV show company or whatever. It's called Yakuza powered by Nihon Toitsu.
Okay,
is what it's called. But I put a link to it on the Slack. But no, it's interesting. I'd be interested to see what you think of it, since you don't really know the story of Yakuza 1, the first one. And I will say, like, it's really like frame by frame the same as the game. So I guess it would spoil any story for Kiwami 1 or whatever, but I just kind of love it. But no, it has that like a low budget soap opera feel to it, kind of. It sort of has like that TV lighting. Like, I was thinking that today when I was, because Haruka's in there, of course, Kiryu's adopted daughter, and when you first meet her, he takes her to the bar, and she's like sleeping on the couch, and I was like, well, if you're gonna let her sleep here, maybe you should turn down the lights, because like that bar is so bright. Everything looks so bright. but it has that like TV lighting where like everything's kind of lit evenly or whatnot, and it does kind of have does kind of feel like a daytime soap opera type thing. But you know, these Yakuza games kind of are soap.
I wonder if that's a shout out to it too, because in Pirate Kiwami, like or not Pirate Kiwami, you know what I'm talking about, like a dragon, Pirate Yakuza.
Yeah,
there's a whole mini story because like obviously like you can get like videos sent to you in like the dating game and stuff, and those look really cheesy, like low like home movie quality videos. But the same thing with there's this whole like character that has like an almost like a bachelor kind of segment where you're trying to get him to like you go have to find all these different girls that fit his type, and then you get them all to the bar, and then he does like a bachelor style thing where he goes on a little date with each of them, and it's all live action.
Oh, weird.
And it's really, really cheesy, and like he's just the worst. Like he just does not know how to talk to people, let alone women. So it's really, really hard to watch, but I guess it's kind of funny in a cringe way. But yeah, it's got a very low budget look to it.
Yeah, I mean it sort of it looks like a soap opera thing, but I think it's great. I mean, it's like I said, it hit all the beats for me. I'm like, oh wait, and it's fun because it's been a minute since I played Kiwami, but I still think that I mean the whole reason I got into these games is because they have such a gripping story, and I do think that Yakuza 1 has a really good story. Still, even if maybe even if you weren't invested in the game, you might still find enjoyment from it, because I think like everything that happens there is important, and it does like the freeze where it shows like who they are and like where they're from. Like it did that in the original games, where like when a new character is introduced, it goes boom boom, and it like stops and it says like this is blah 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 from clan whatever, and it shows like what the Yakuza group they're from and whatnot. It does all that stuff, and it does like Kiryu will like his shoulders will like catch on fire like you would in the game when his heat gets high and all that for like the special moves. Like they do all that stuff, which I think is fun. Like they're definitely. I saw somebody comment on YouTube saying that like the original idea was to make like a dramatic thing to get people interested in Yakuza, but the director guy like played the games and got obsessed with them and decided to make them all like just a whole lot of, hey, look, this is like it is in the game, which I think that's fun, But yeah, I think it's worth a look. Yeah, it's really annoying trying to watch stuff on YouTube though, because every time like there was a cool part, it'd be like, oh, now here's a commercial for Pokemon Pocopia, and I'm like, get out of here! He was about to punch that guy. I know you have commercialless YouTube. I don't watch enough for me to pay for that, but for this
it's
one,
one of those things. It's one of those things that
annoying.
I did it to test it out, and I liked it so much I just can't give it up.
Oh, I thought you got it. I thought you got it included with another thing too, right?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't watch YouTube as much as most people. I mean, I really don't watch it that much at all. But I did for Yakuza because it's worth it. Because it is a lot of fun. So yeah, I highly recommend it. They should check it out. At least like it's only like 3 episodes long. I thought it was supposed to be Yakuza 1 and 2, but I watched the first 2 episodes and we still haven't finished the story of 1. So I would be mad if they tried to cram all of the story of 2 into episode 3, because there's a lot of story there. So
we still have to finish 1 first.
Well, at this point, yeah. I mean, they said that. Well, from what I heard, they said like that it was supposed to cover Yakuza 1 and 2 through the 3 episodes. But I've watched 2 of them, and we're still not done with 1. We still got a lot left with 1. So I think it just covers 1, but I don't know.
It must.
Maybe we'll see. Because I mean, they can't. I don't know. It would be weird to have it, because 1 has such a crazy ending that you can't just like that can't be like not the end of the episode. Like it's like a huge event that affects like every other Yakuza game after that. Like there's characters that show up in like 4 and 5 that their lives were changed by the event of Yakuza 1. Like it's like a whole thing, It's like it holds all the games together or whatever. I'm sure you've seen reference to it in one of the later ones, and you may not have even known what it was, but you're like, oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Because it
has a lot to say about
because it's a big deal.
Whole history and Infinite Wealth. There we go.
I'm sure it's referenced. I'm sure the big event that happens at the end of Yakuza 1 is referenced at some point in those games and those other games. It's like they were whole character. Like one of the main characters from 4 and 5, like his life was changed by that event. Like he became a whole different person because of what happened at the end of Yakuza 1. So they kind of like it's like a through line. But yeah, no, it's I've been digging it.
I'll have to check it out.
But yeah, what have you been doing? What have you been doing?
Well, my big thing for the week was playing a lot more Stardew Valley. I got really pulled into it, so I'm about to marry. Hold on, I have it written down here because I get everybody's names confused.
Abigail, the purple-haired video game player.
Yeah, Abigail, the purple-haired video game player. She's
That's
the daughter of Pierre, the
Is she the one that eats
shop
rocks?
owner.
She's the one that eats rocks, right?
She eats anything you give to her. Like you give her a rock or yeah, you give her a diamond. She'll say, "How'd you know I was hungry?"
Yeah, I think. I heard on I think Axe they were saying that was like a, or somebody was saying that was like a. It was a mistake originally, but people just thought it was really funny, so they left it in there. Yeah, where like you give her a rock and she's like, "Oh, delicious," but it was supposed to be like something else. I don't know, but yeah, she was the one. I figured if I was going to go for any of them, I'd go for that one. But and I think 90% of the people who play it go for her, just because she's a video gamer.
Well, I haven't. So this will be my third marriage in Stardew Valley. It's my third playthrough. And I've married the sisters, Emily and Haley, that are down at the bottom left of the map. So I figured it was time to move on to someone else. But I've also been like being really friendly with Leah, who's the one who lives in the little forest house. She's really cool. She's like an artist who moved away from the city, and the last little cinematic I got with her was her ex calling her and like trying to get her to move back, and she's like, "No, it's over between us."
Mhm.
And it was really dramatic for Stardew Valley, but
Leave me alone.
yeah. But I think I just have to do the spring dance, which I'm in the spring of the third year. I've gotten 3 of the 4 torches that you get from Grandpa, so I'm probably gonna have to play through until the next calendar year to actually see credits or to beat it. But yeah, I've been powering through this game, so I like it. As far as the new stuff, like I think there's just I think it's just a little more streamlined. Like you can find stuff from other seasons a little easier, I think, like through specialty shops and stuff that show up. And there's like a new bookseller that shows up, which wasn't in there the last time I played, and you can buy these books that help you level up faster. So there's just like stuff that kind of streamlines it. There's more, like I think I said before, there's like more to do in the winter. You can do a little bit of more planting. Like there's more seeds that grow in the winter, so you can keep farming. It's a harder to do, but you can still get a little bit of farming going and use those sprinklers that I never took down after fall. Um, and I went through and I got kind of far into the second set of mines, but man, I forgot how hard they are. They're so annoying. So I'm gonna take my time with those.
Oh, the ones that are like on the bottom left.
No, they're the ones that are in the you have to go to the desert and there's another cave there.
Oh yeah, those are really hard. Oh yeah, because there's there's the regular mines. I got all the way down to those, and then there's like another one in the main map that has some in there, but not as much. Right?
Yeah, it's just like one layer, but it's like a really big layer that's kind of hard to get through if you're not leveled up enough. But
Yeah,
you get the golden scythe from that, and then
yeah,
there's
I did get that.
a rock back there I can't break, so I got to come back when I upgrade my pickaxe again.
Yeah, I did do that, but I do remember. Yeah, the stuff in the desert, I just couldn't really. I would get killed so quickly with that. Like that mine stuff was
Yeah,
was too much for me, and it was like a pain to get to the desert too. Like I never really got that far into that.
It's actually one of the easier things because you just have to get a bunch of money, but in the community center, you just pay a bunch of money for one of the series of tiers, and I think you end up spending like something like 50,000 total to get the bus running again. But once you do, you can use it any day, and as long as you get on it before like 5 p.m., you can do it anytime. So
I guess
I like that.
I think it was just. I think to me it was just annoying that you had to take a bus to somewhere else, and
Yeah.
instead of it just being within the world. And I always felt like I got there too late, and by the time I got there, I didn't have enough time to do anything. And because I did do all of the community center stuff, but
Yeah, one of the first quests I completed in the community center was the mine carts so that I could get around the map faster, and that's a game changer too. So I haven't even bothered with the horse. So I don't think I'm going to deal. I don't think I need the horse.
oh yeah. I don't think we even used. I mean, we had one, but yeah, we never even used it. I think it took me a long time to figure out that you could even use the mine carts, like even after I unlocked them.
Yeah. Well, I still love this game. I think it's just such a sweet little game, and I do plan on playing through, and then I'm going to try Divorce because I haven't done that yet. So I want to try Divorce. I want to have a couple kids, turn them into doves, and then I'll be able to put down Stardew for a few more years, I guess.
And then be like, yeah, F you, Abigail, get out of here.
I just this game is very consuming when I play it, and I'm kind of looking forward to just being able to put it down again. But the whole reason I picked it up in the first place was because I really wanted to play Pokopia. So hopefully I can get Pokopia in the next couple weeks. Um, that's the first game I'll buy when I can buy a new game, I think.
Yeah, YouTube seems to think that I like Pokopia, or maybe IGN is just really trying to push Pokopia or something because like, yeah, every fucking,
Maybe the algorithm because of
yeah,
us posting stuff about Pokopia too.
maybe I don't know. I mean, every commercial for Yakuza was Pokopia, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Well,
yeah,
it's a system seller for sure.
yeah, people seem to like it. I'm still. I mean, I'll see how you feel about it.
Yeah.
I'm a little I'm hesitant on that game just because it's all building. There's no fighting, and I'm like,
I understand.
I'm not that. I don't know. I could always just go back and play Dragon Quest Builders 2, I guess, even though I'm still stuck in that tunnel. Or I just
I think
about
if
that
maybe
tunnel that
this
I was
game
stuck
had
in.
come out during the pandemic, it would have been our Animal Crossing from what I'm seeing, even though they're very different. But
No, I mean it looks.
it would
Really
have been a social game.
I mean, a lot of people like it. I mean, I've seen
There's a
they're
lot of
building
social
crazy
elements to
stuff
it.
and all that. There's just too many games. There's too many games coming
I
out that
agree.
it's really on the back burner for me. It's like especially that it's 70 and there's like 20 other games coming out that are
Yeah,
70 also.
that's
It's
gonna
like
hurt.
it's like
I'm so yeah.
I might have I might have some extra money to a little bit extra money to get something. And I'm like, but not Pacopia. That's gonna be. I'll have to get some double checks or something, as you were saying,
Yeah.
for me to even consider that. I'm not in the $70 territory by any means.
I don't know when I'll be. It'll probably be at least a few more weeks. But the other game I got really close to beating, and I think I'm at the end, is Minishoot Adventures, which I talked about a lot last week. That's the game that's like Zelda, but it's a shooter.
Yeah, I saw that you played for like 15 hours or something like that. I was like, how long is that game?
It's pretty long. And also, so I decided last week, I said it was like Zelda. It's very much like Zelda in its structure. And then I decided after playing a lot more of it that it reminds me the most of the way the map is in Link's Adventure, or what is it? Is it Link's Adventure on the Game Boy?
Link's Awakening?
Link's Awakening. I don't know why I couldn't remember the name. Anyway, it's like that because you once you open up the whole map, which I'm still missing a little section of the map because I think I just need to find it. You have to find actual physical maps, and then in order for to fill it out on the screen. But um, you get to the point where like you have most of the map, but you have to go through like all these caves, and it's like a whole convoluted order to get to travel not that far to get certain things to. And you have to like light all these torches to unlock all these special doors, and it just gets it was starting to get a little annoying, but I think I was still enjoying it, but it just seemed like there was every time I would do something, then there was a series of steps I had to do that, which in itself was a series of steps to do something else. So it kind of just got me caught up in these like little running, just flying around the map, missions everywhere, seeing what I missed. And I ended up finding like a ton of pieces of heart. I think I'm up to like 8 pieces of heart total now for my energy, and I've got almost everything fully upgraded. And the last boss is still really hard. I can get to the second phase, and then it just completely wipes the floor with me. So I'm hoping to finish it this week, but also I don't know. I'm not going to turn down the difficulty now, but maybe I will if I just want to see the credits. But I've been playing on normal the whole time. I've never turned it to easy.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it now when I'm at the end of the game, so I probably won't. But I still highly recommend this game. I think a lot of people could get lost in it and just enjoying like like how powerful you get after a while, and then towards the end of the game they start putting more powerful enemies on the map. So it's hard. It's kind of hard again, but it's not too hard because I'm so OP. It's only hard when I get to the bosses.
Yep.
And the bosses in this game are no joke. Like they've usually got at least like 5 or 6 phases, and you don't get a start on the phase you were on. If you die, you got to start all over again. So that's no fun.
Yeah, I watched a review of it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. It looked hard. It looked hard to me. I'm not really good at those shooter games, so it was.
There's just like I don't know, when you're really just kind of in the zone, those bullet hell games are pretty fun. Like you start to feel like a superhuman sometimes when you're dodging these crazy waves of bullets, and you get to these waves of bullets where it's like there's only one little space on the whole screen, and you just have to move as that little space moves around and have the pattern memorized or whatever that's going to do. So it gets pretty brutal, but I've gotten far. I've got the full. You have to collect these skulls. It shows 4 skulls. I've collected all 4 skulls. So I've beat the 4 dungeons that are in the 4 corners of the map, and I'm on the final dungeon as far as I can tell. And yeah, good value. Good value.
Is
good
there
game.
is there other places you can go to level yourself up?
I can level up a little bit more, but I'm mostly leveled up. Like the only things I can level up are you get kind of like a bullet time mode, and then you also get like a shield, and those are the ones that I haven't really spent a lot of time building up. So if I did, maybe I'd get stronger. And then there is one like series of power ups I haven't figured out how to access. So maybe there's an item I still need to find on the map. So maybe I could do a little more exploration. I feel like I've done a lot though. Like I've just blown around that map till my brain went numb trying to find anything else to make me stronger for this last boss.
Oh yeah. So you've covered like pretty much all of it or most of it.
Yeah.
Of the main map, you'd say.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Well, I mean, that's pretty much it this week for video games. And then I started a new job, and I don't know why I thought I should mention it. Maybe because of all the farming in Stardew Valley. But I remember back in the day, like when we would talk about like veganism and stuff, like back when we were real cool and made fun of veganism or whatever.
Sure.
I remember people bringing up fruitarianism, and it sounded like a joke. I always thought it was a joke when people talked about it, and I never really went through the act of looking it up to see if it was real.
It's like, can you live off of fruit alone?
It's very real.
Sure.
It's very real, and it's very ancient, and it's based off of like a kind of a sect of Buddhism called the Jainists.
Oh, the ones that really like Jane. I mean, we all like Jane. It was a shame. She got killed in paradise. That sucked.
The way I found out about it, right. The way I found out about it was that on my new job, we're feeding the students or the university, and there's all kinds of like dietary needs and stuff, and different like just diets based on faith or lifestyle or whatever as well. And because of that, they always have all these inclusive options. So there's like a whole like little kitchen that only does kosher food. There's a whole kitchen that only does halal. There's a whole kitchen that only does gluten-free. And it's just so nothing can like cross-contaminate. Mm-hmm. And there's also one for Jainism where they only serve like, it's only fruitarian dishes. And I found out some stuff about it. It's for that specifically that you just can't harm the plant because it's all about respecting all life equally and with reverence or whatever. So you could eat something like green beans because more green beans will grow off the vine after you take them. But you couldn't eat like potatoes because then you're taking the root away from a vegetable and that kills it. So you can't eat root vegetables.
Oh, weird. And, so it goes even farther. I was like, well, if you're eating it,
because that would actually you have to destroy the plant. Yeah. And the other thing is that you can't eat leftovers. You have to eat your food.
You have to eat it all at once.
You do, and if you have any food left, you just have to let it like rot because once it starts, once you're done with it, that's when all the microorganisms start to develop and like an ecosystem develops. And so if you eat it, you're killing those microorganisms that are there because of your interference in the plant. Or if you make like a dish, if you reheat it, if you like heat it back up again after storing it in the fridge, you're killing bacteria that have formed in it overnight. And so you're destroying their ecosystem. So I don't know. I don't know why I'm talking about it on the podcast. Like I said, probably because of Stardew Valley, but I find it really fascinating. I've tried some of the dishes. They're just like green beans and stuff. It's nothing.
It's probably not
too crazy.
You're not doing a whole lot. You're not doing a whole lot to it, right? It's pretty right. Natural with it. Like you're not really. I don't know. You're just.
I haven't actually cooked any food
right?
yet.
Yeah.
I've just eaten it. I've gotten to like try all the different stuff, but
I wonder if like the you know how they say it's like impolite to not finish your food in Japan, like you need to eat everything that's brought to you and like that sort of thing, like is a disrespect. I wonder if that has anything to do with that because you said it's like a Buddhist thing, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. I just thought of that. Where
Jainism. Look it up. Jainism. It's
Yeah.
there's Wikipedia page for it and everything.
I just thought about it. Yeah, because I know it's a whole thing, like where you're supposed to eat
It
everything.
is.
Eat everything that's served to you in Japan, and also like some places charge you more if you don't. Like I know, like a lot of sushi places will, if all you can eat sushi places will charge you if you don't eat everything.
Yeah, we took all our leftovers with us when we were in Japan, so I don't think we
didn't have
committed that cardinal sin.
I'll say we didn't have leftovers for anything. Wherever we went, we ate everything that we ordered. So I didn't run into
I think
that.
Sean and I are too much on the move. Like when we're like, okay, time to go to the next place, so we're just gonna like pack up our food and get going.
Oh yeah, I mean we didn't. Yeah, there was never. The food was too good. There's no reason that there's no time we would have left it anywhere.
Most of it was good. There's some stuff I had that I was like, eh.
Oh, everything we ate at Disney World was fucking trash, but that was Disney World. At the Tokyo Disney food was god awful, but everything else was good. It was terrible. Like we had some of the worst pizza I've ever had.
It's like I feel like the more ornate food, like where they went out of their way to make it look really cool, seemed like it was less delicious sometimes.
Yeah, it depends. I guess it depends on where you're at.
Like the Dragon Quest cafe, or not Dragon Quest, but the Final Fantasy cafe when.
Oh yeah. The food wasn't great. It wasn't great there, but I didn't.
It was fine.
But I didn't leave any of it. I mean, it was.
Yeah, no, we ate everything.
It was
there.
more like it was more for it was more for look than taste. Like I didn't think it was the weird pancakes things that.
That's also where they
great.
they made us a special honeymoon dessert and didn't charge us for it, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we didn't tell them. We didn't tell them we were on a honeymoon. We should have. But yeah. Anyway, if you're done, we could take a break here, and then we'll come back and talk about the Game Boy Advance and
Sounds
Resident
good to
Evil
me.
and whatever news. So
let's just put it in sleep mode for a second.
So stay tuned. Yeah, Game Boy.
Hey, you.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, you. Subscribe to our Patreon to hear our bonus shows, which happen every month.
I'm tired.
Tired of all the big corporate podcasts spoon-feeding you the same old video game news on every single show?
Spaghetti. Ravioli.
Then expand!
With NintenDomain Expansion Pack.
It's us talking about old games that were important to us. It's us interviewing people that we meet at conventions. And heck, it's live shows from those same conventions. It's basically everything you could want that NintenDomain ever made.
Here we go!
And it's just $1 a month.
That's less than a bad indie on the eShop.
It's $12 a year, which is less than Nintendo Switch Online.
Thank you so much for subscribing to our Patreon and supporting NintenDomain.
Just go to patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast and hey, Mario, let go. Whoa! He's throwing us back to the show.
So long, Bowser.
Patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast.
Game over.
right, we're back from the break, and it is, 2026 is the year of anniversaries. There are lots of them out there, and one of them, a big one, is the Game Boy Advance, which released March 21st of 2001
Oh my god!
in Japan. That was there were different dates. It didn't come here until that summer, but in Japan it was March. It was a few days ago, in between episodes. So, yeah, fucking motherfucking Game Boy Advance. There's a system that I feel like should have had more years than what it got. I feel like it didn't get a little bit.
Thinking back on it, maybe because
cut a little short from the DS.
my life. I think my life just felt very full around that time because when I look back on it, I have lots of memories around the time of the Game Boy Advance. But I think I just must have been living a good life, for as far as an exciting life at the time. Because I remember it being around a lot longer. But yeah, it was really only like 3 years before the DS came out and kind of kicked it off the throne.
Yeah, the third pillar, my ass.
Uh-huh.
That was the old. That's what Nintendo used to say. 3 pillars.
They really thought that was going to be a thing.
But once the DS came out, it was like, well, no, we didn't mean that. But I mean, also like the DS. I mean, the DS could play Game Boy Advance games, so it's like,
yeah,
you don't need a Game Boy Advance. But no, yeah. I mean, when the Game Boy Advance, that was 2001. I mean, we were hanging out then. Didn't it have something to do with Warp Tour? Like, didn't I show it to you there?
The first time I got to play a Game Boy Advance was at Steak and Shake on the way back from Warp Tour.
Yeah, I thought that I brought it there and showed you the first and worst Castlevania for Game Boy Advance, Circle of the Moon, which I beat later on Switch. Now that I could see it, but the original Game Boy Advance, I remember being like, and I think that was the game that I got for it was Castlevania Circle of the Moon.
That was the first game I got as well.
Yeah, because I really wanted it, but. Man, if you didn't have a good light behind you, it was real hard to play. If you didn't have a good spot where the sun would light up your Game Boy, because, Game Boy Advance, the original one, without the flip, no light. So it was.
This game was just really dark too, and not to mention like color wise, like it was really dark, and then there wasn't a lot of contrast between the sprites and the background as a result, and also they were really small sprites, like everything was kind of zoomed out more than what you kind of think of as the good 2D past Castlevania games.
Sure. And then it got zoomed in too much for Harmony of Dissonance later.
I like Harmony of Dissonance.
Yeah, well, it's whatever. It's fine. It's not my favorite, obviously, of the ones that are in Game Boy Advance. I don't know. Like I said, I played through Circle of the Moon later on Switch, and I had a good time with it. But I've
never gotten all the way through it.
I beat it when it was released. When they they did, it was part of one of those
Castlevania
collections. I beat it on there just because I always wanted to, but I never really had a great way to do it. I guess I could have done it for the GameCube Game Boy Advance player or whatever. But But I mean, by that time I was playing the other Castlevania games. I didn't really care about Circle.
I guess this would have been the first time it had save states, so it makes more sense to play it on the Switch.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And if you want, you can zoom in on the screen even more.
You could, but you can't play while you're doing that, so don't do it. Unless you're paused.
It's true.
But yeah, Game Boy Advance, I mean, I guess we got it. I remember getting like the one, the whatever the handheld one around that time. Yeah, because you said it was a Warp Tour, so that would have been summer.
Yep.
And I think I got it, and I must have got that, and maybe I got it for my birthday or something. Actually, I guess it would have been after my birthday when it came out. I was like, how did I have money to get it? Because I didn't really have any money at that time. But I guess I had enough. I mean, life finds a way. Or at the time, I would have not paid anything else, any of my other bills.
It was $100 when
it came out,
right?
To save money for the Game Boy. I don't remember. Yeah. I mean, I don't think...
It's worth looking at.
I don't...
Whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it'd be more than that. That'd be too much.
$99.99.
$99.99, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's right there. It's on the Wikipedia site that I'm already on. It says right there, $99.99. For 2001 money, that's pretty cheap, right? I don't know what
I guess. I mean, a sub $100 console is still kind of a dream for the time.
Compared to, what, $500 Switch 2s?
Yeah.
Upcoming $1,000, whatever you call them. What the fuck is it called? Not the Steam box. you know,
Yeah,
a
the Steam
1,000
boxes.
plus Steam box or whatever the fuck the PS6 is going to cost when it comes out in 2029
Right.
because of the RAM shortage and all that. Is what I've heard people say around there.
Yeah, and I think the RAM shortage is a lot of the reasons why all this shitty AI tech is getting popularized for upscaling games.
Oh yeah, because they need to find a workaround. Yeah, because apparently RAM is real expensive now. But yeah,
Thanks, data centers.
But yeah, the Game Boy Advance, I remember getting it pretty quickly. I think the first games I remember playing is Castlevania, and I think I got Tony Hawk also. I think I
You
got
did.
one of the
You had
Tony
Tony Hawk.
Hawks. Would have been
Tony Hawk 2, I think.
Tony Hawk 2, right? Yeah. Because I was like, did that release on Game Boy Advance even before the 64 game came out? Or I don't even know.
That I don't know, but I know it was a launch game.
Because I probably would have, I got it because I really wanted to play the other one. I think the Game Boy Advance one probably came out before the 64 one did, because the 64 one was much later than the PlayStation one, obviously. So I probably got the Game Boy one before. But yeah, it was what I always wanted was a portable Super Nintendo in my hands. But I mean, I think the original Game Boy Advance was, it was whatever it was because of not having the light. But I think the SP was was obviously what made it the coolest thing ever, because the SP had a charger like the original Game Boy Advance didn't. You had to buy batteries for it. Even though I think I got like a battery charger thing that you could put in there and plug it in, but it wasn't as cool as the Game Boy Advance SP. Even though the original Game Boy Advance had a headphone jack and the other one didn't. They're like,
Nintendo out-appled before Apple with taking away the headphone jack, which I never really cared that much on.
I was so annoyed by it because I love the music. I always loved the music of any video game, and I wanted to listen to it. What I thought was really funny and cool at the same time, like when Jess and I first started dating, I think like the first thing I got him for Christmas was a Game Boy Advance with a Minish cap, because you could buy them for like $40, and Game Boy Advances are awesome. And they loved Super Nintendo like I did. And I remember Jess said that they would play it at work at the theater, and basically put the headphone jack adapter in it, and then plugged in a Bluetooth adapter into that, and then used Bluetooth headphones for and I was like, that's so cool.
That's so retro futuristic.
I just thought that was such a funny thing to do, just so you could listen to the music on Game Boy Advance. I
love it. But
you needed two adapters to get it to work.
It's like we have a record player that has a Bluetooth on it, and that's surreal, playing a record through Bluetooth speakers.
Yeah, I mean, I have a headphone Bluetooth adapter thing that we could plug it into our record player too.
That would work too. This just has it
because it has
built-in.
because it's got the headphone jack right there. You just plug it in. But I just thought it was a funny thing to do. But the Game Boy Advance, plenty of great games on there. Lots of re-releases of Super Nintendo games, and I thought it'd be fun for us to just do like a quick fire top 5 games. When did you get your first Game Boy Advance? I know I showed you mine, but when did you get yours that much longer after that?
It wasn't that much longer. I think it might have been that fall, because it was because it would have been either that fall or the following spring, because it was when when Brandon and Gabe and all them came to Lincoln Christian College their first semester. I was hanging out with Brandon, and Brandon didn't really care for the Game Boy Advance, so he sold it to me he gave me a pretty good deal. I think it was like $75 or something for the basically new console and a couple games. I think it came with Tony Hawk and Circle of the Moon, and there might have been a third game. I can't remember.
Not bad.
But I was happy. Yeah. So I bought that off of him. Just had some cash. I don't know how I had cash either, but I did.
I think around the time, I don't know. I think around the time it came out, maybe I was working at Pizza Hut when I delivered there. I had some money, I think,
that would make sense,
from the tips or whatever. So I had enough money to get it, because I don't think I got it. I don't think I asked for it as a present or whatever. Because I remember, specifically, I'm sure I've mentioned it before on this show, but the Game Boy Advance SP, I remember having extra Christmas money and going out and buying it for myself, because I just realized that I had some whatever, like extra Christmas money from the family. And I was like, you know what, I could get a Game Boy Advance SP. So I bought that, and I bought Fire Emblem, and I was like, oh yeah, this is so cool. So it was a big
I
deal.
love that original side lit Game Boy Advance SP. I remember reading about it so much on IGN, getting so hyped about it, and then I ended up getting that in 2004. I don't remember when it came out, but it was shortly before the DS came out. So yeah, it probably would have been like summer of 2004 that I got my my Super Nintendo, or no, it's the NES edition.
Yeah.
And then I've since replaced that screen with an AGS 101. I just like switched out the internals.
Yeah, you've done like you've taken
a little bit of
things
modding
apart, and yeah.
Not always to the best effect, because some of those third-party shells are better than others.
So yeah, I mean the SP launched March 23rd, 2003. Also an anniversary here, I guess. But the SP would have launched in March, so I guess I waited on it, and I bought it in December, late December of 2004 or 2003. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to have gotten it the following year, because you already had yours and I had tried it out. Yeah, like once I got that, I got the Mario Golf Advance Tour had come out around the same time, and that was my game for a long time. That's all I played.
Yeah, the Fire Emblem game came out in November of 2003, so I was like, it must have been around, because I was really excited to play that. So I either played it like at the very end of December or at the beginning of January. But I do remember going to Best Buy and just grabbing it. It might have even been Circuit City, if that was still around in 2003. But I remember just grabbing it off the shelf and being like, I am getting Fire Emblem and Game Boy Advance SP, and it's going to be mine. And I
remember like I did some crazy mental gymnastics, because I didn't have very much money at the time, but I had some, and I was like, I really can't afford to buy the Game Boy Advance SP, but I really, really want it. You know what? I'm going to quit smoking, and then within
I think I remember that.
I'll have saved up enough money to buy it. But I'm just going to buy it now, and then I just won't smoke for a few weeks.
Yeah, that'll work.
And then, of course, I bought it, and then bought a pack of cigarettes like next day.
It's like, well, I got enough money for cigarettes. Well, yeah, that was another stupid thing when I was into smoking cigarettes, like how many bills I would skip to buy packs of cigarettes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was at Walgreens the other day, and I'm just like, what are the price of cigarettes now? They're like $18 here.
Yeah.
And even where I'm at, like, I mean, well, I'm still in Chicago, but kind of on the outskirts. But $18 fucking for a pack. Well, I remember when I quit, they were $12. They were $12 a pack, which I thought was pretty fucking high. I mean, for Chicago prices. But I remember when we were in college, we'd get a pack for like $3. That was a different.
Right. So when I was in college, I would actually like dig around on the couches trying to find change. Sometimes I was that desperate to like have enough to buy a pack of Pall Malls for like. Yeah, you get it for less than $3 sometimes.
Just imagining being able to find change in a couch to buy a pack of cigarettes. It's a hard thing to believe. The kids, they just don't know. They don't know how.
They just don't even know what change is, or couches.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe couches. Or
couches, they just are all in the metaverse, floating in midair.
But yeah, Game Boy Advance. I just thought we'd do like quick fire top 5 here of games that we like. And I thought also, I didn't put it in the notes, but I thought that maybe we could just say a game that we think should be on the Game Boy Advance app on the Switch that is not there. There's plenty that are not there, but
yeah,
one that has not been released yet that we'd love to see there. I guess I could do. I got to figure out, because I just kind of went through the games that I like, and I put 10 of them on here, but I didn't really decide which ones are my top 5, so I should probably figure that out. Do you have your list together already?
Yeah, I made a list, and I don't know. I didn't really rank them. I just listed like probably the 5 games I like the most, and there's a couple honorable mentions. My favorite game is probably Harmony of Dissonance. Not Harmony of Dissonance. I'm just kidding. Aria of Sorrow.
Yeah,
I said Harmony of Dissonance because we were just talking about it. Aria of Sorrow is like hands down, just a amazing.
I think.
Game.
I think that's one of the best Castlevanias, if not the best Castlevania.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Aria of Sorrow is so good. Like that
and
was
so, and it's so perfect for a handheld to like go around and collect the souls and stuff, and you can just kind of grind and on the go, and yeah, that game was fun. I really enjoyed playing through it again on the collection. I didn't crack out on it as much, but I did finish it.
Oh, did you
At
play
least-
through it all the
At
way?
least got credits, yeah.
I remember playing it, but I didn't get it all the way through. I just kind of fucked around with it.
I was gonna do that. I was gonna try to do all three of them on that collection. I only ended up doing the two, and then went back to Circle of the Moon and gave up again.
Yeah, I think I did. I think the only one I beat was Circle of the Moon. That's the only one I got through.
Well, between the two of us,
Yeah. So on that collection, and I think I played a little bit of Harmony of Dissonance, and I was like, I don't like this game. Then I went to the other one, but it was whatever. But yeah, no, Aria of Sorrow is a great one. That was one of the first games I thought of course, when I was thinking of best Game Boy Advance games.
yeah, definitely one of the best games on the platform. Probably objectively, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Another one I have on here, also probably one of the best games on the platform objectively, is WarioWare Twisted.
Yeah, that's another one that I figured would be on your list, and
Yeah, it's amazing. I never ever want to get rid of my cartridge now that I have it again. I got it a few years ago, and I'm not letting it go again.
I remember that I had it, and I thought that I had lost it. I thought I didn't have it anymore, and I might have found it when we moved or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, I do have it now, and I know where it is. So for some reason, I thought I had given it away or I'd lost it or something, and I was like, oh no, I love that thing, and it turns out that I do still have it.
That had prototype Wii remote technology in it.
It did, yeah, and it just felt so cool to play it. Like I remember, I was in college still, and I remember playing that thing on a student shoot on like a student movie or whatever, in between, while they're setting up lights or whatever, because I was doing audio and I was waiting for them to be ready. And I was just the coolest kid there. Everybody was like, "Oh wow, look at that cool Game Boy Advance over there." Or I think most of them were like, "You got the weirdest shit, man," or whatever.
What are you doing? Why are you moving it so much?
I think somebody's saying that and be like, "You got the bizarrest Nintendo shit." But it's like no, it's WarioWare Twisted. It's cool. Yeah, that game was a delight to play. It was really fun.
Yeah, and it had haptic feedback, so like not only was it
rumbled.
like yeah, you were getting like different sensations for different games and stuff, and maybe it wasn't quite HD rumble, but they altered it enough where it felt different.
But you felt like the notches, like when you were like turning if you were turning like a steering wheel, it kind of felt like it was.
You could turn the volume down, and you would hear the clicking happening within the cartridge.
Yeah, it was a really cool thing. Like it was definitely it was really neat, some real neat tech there. And that's definitely a game that is not.
And in turn, kind of an evolution of Kirby Tilt and Tumble, I'm sure. But yeah, to have all that technology just built into the cartridge, hell yeah! And then there's just so much bonus stuff in that. Just playing around with the sensor, like a whole playground of little mini games, and somewhat to argue almost like full other games, and then a bunch of toys and instruments. You could grate things on a cheese grater.
Yeah,
all kinds of different nukes.
Yeah, there's all sorts of silly things you could. Yeah, and you could grate like Game Boy cartridges and stuff like that. I remember.
And like trucks. Another game that I really like, and it also kind of depends on, or kind of, it has the built-in technology, is Drill Dozer.
Oh, Drill Dozer. Yeah, I never really played that game that much.
That game's got haptic feedback, but it doesn't have the tilt control, so it's not quite as advanced as Tilt and Tumble, but it's got its own kind of vibration motor. It's something else entirely, but it does like build up into intensity depending on what gear you're in. And the whole game's based on like finding gears to upgrade your drill so you can go through harder things, and you have to like level up the gears by like timed button presses, and it's just so much easier to do with the force feedback. Like you could feel when you need to upgrade, or when you need to shift. It's almost like a little bit like driving a stick shift car. Not really, but there's a feeling, when you need to shift, and you feel it out, and it's like a very satisfying physical sensation as you do that in both cases. So yeah, Drill Dozer, great game.
I never played it. It was made by Game Freak, the obviously the Pokemon people, and Go Ichinose did the soundtrack.
This is one of those cartridges,
many of the Pokemon soundtracks.
Really expensive. It's one of my more expensive games that I own, I think. I didn't pay a lot for it, but it's fairly rare, I guess. Rare enough that people pay a lot for it.
I don't think I ever played it. They should put it on Switch. Put it on the Switch 2 Game Boy Advance, whatever.
I think so.
Or expansion pack Game Boy Advance. They could do that. It's a Game Freak game. It was Nintendo only. It was only on Game Boy Advance. Like I think they still, They can get, they don't. They put other they put Gale of Darkness on there. They can put Drill Dozer on here. Let's do it.
But yeah, real quick, Super Monkey Ball Jr. Just an awesome port of a Monkey Ball for the Game Boy Advance. It looked brilliant.
Hitting all of mine.
Sorry, it used like different engines for like the mini games versus the main games. So you got like full polygonal 3D in it, and it looked so cool. Like they did a really good job with it. And maybe playing it now, it might seem a little framey, but I mean, it was running on the Game Boy Advance, and at the time,
I still think
it felt so good.
I still think it looks incredible. Like that game was. I really loved that game. The only thing, I'm sure I've said it before. The only problem I had with it is the bowling doesn't work as well as the GameCube one does.
It doesn't, but it was a close enough approximation.
If you want to get a strike, you have to do it exactly the same. Where like every time, where the GameCube one had a little more leeway to it. That was the only thing
I agree
that bothered me about it. Where you had to do it a specific way, like on the dot. But
like you could like, oh shit, I aimed to the wrong spot, and you could like compensate for it with how much spin you put on the ball afterwards.
On the GameCube one, you could, but not as much on the Game Boy Advance one.
I mean, it's in there a little bit, but it's not even remotely as precise. I mean, it's not an analog trigger, so
yeah.
But it's a great game. I thought it was really beautiful, and I still like to play it.
Yeah, the 3D is so cool, and just the fact that they made analog work with the digital pad, like just from holding like A or B to go quicker or slower.
It was also really the first Monkey Ball game that added an extra kind of move. It added a break because they kind of had to because you couldn't do like different levels of how hard you were pushing, so they had to add like a break where you could slow your ball down if it was moving too quickly towards like and it was still really hard. It didn't make it easy or anything. I think it was just a logical gameplay mechanic to put in there to counterbalance the technology. But yeah, it plays great. It's still a good game, and it's hard to believe it's running on the Game Boy Advance. And then I guess if I was going to say something last, going back to those.
One more thing about Monkey Ball Jr. though, it was probably one of the first games that I played 2-player with one system on the Game Boy because you could play bowling 2-player. Because you'd hand the system
I forgot about that. That was super cool too.
So there was a lot of it basically got a lot of use for that, like having multiplayer one Game Boy games.
Well, don't forget WarioWare had simultaneous 1-player Game Boy.
Well, yeah, you could hold where you both hold the Game Boy, but it was more fun to just be like, all right, here bowl, here you bowl one, now you bowl one, and yeah, it was.
I wish there were more games like that.
It was a good vacation game like that.
Multiplayer where you can just pass the Game Boy around.
And even like the later, like there's a Monkey Ball. There were a couple of like Monkey Ball games for like DS and 3DS. You can't do it out on those. Like they never made like never did like single system multiplayer. Like even though they had those games on there, they never did that. It was only on the Game Boy Advance one. Like what the hell, guys? But it was a lot of fun. Yeah, just playing bowling, like bowling with a friend. Just be like, here you bowl, now I'll bowl, and we'll pass the system back and forth, and it's great.
We're only eventually getting back to where you can play multiplayer without owning multiple copies of a game, but yeah, it's absolutely nuts that there's certain games that you can't even play on your TV 2-player unless you have 2 copies.
For sure. But what's your final one then of your top 5?
I guess Metroid Fusion. It'd have to be Metroid Fusion.
Yeah, it's got to be one of them.
I played through it multiple times. Yeah, I played through it multiple times. I think it had a lot of atmosphere and it's hard to underhype the excitement level for 2 Metroid games on the same day.
That's why 2002 is one of the best video game years of all time, as voted on our expansion pack episode that we did by you, the expansion packers. That's what I thought about that.
Amazing
2002
Metroid games. It
Metroid
came out
Prime 1
day.
and Fusion same day. Yeah,
people still talk about both of these games now.
Hey, I mean, it was one of the best days of my life right there. Two Metroids at once. I think I skipped dinner for like a week to get to afford them, but I remember.
And they interfaced with each other, kind of.
Well, yeah, you could unlock the Fusion suit in Prime, and I think you use Fusion to unlock Metroid 1 in Prime also.
Yeah, it's like the NES version, right?
Yeah, the original Metroid. I remember when I think it was around the time I had first met John. Yeah, because it was like in 2002 when it came out. Of course, best year ever. But I remember John was like, "Hey, you want to go get dinner somewhere?" And I was like, "No, I got to go buy Metroid Prime 1."
Nice.
Like I can't afford dinner.
You knew it was one at the time.
Well, I don't think I said one. I think I just said I got to go buy Metroid Prime. I was like,
I love,
I can't
like,
afford dinner. Sorry, dude.
Those retroactive stories.
Saving my money for GameCube games. But yeah, it was both wonderful games. Well, I guess I'll do my 5, and then we can talk about any extra stragglers that we didn't mention on here. Since you went first, you helped me cut out like half of my list here, so I know which ones that I will.
That was smart.
That I'll actually say. No, I mean, because I came up with like 10 of them that I really liked, and won't say the ones that you already said, even though I do like all of those games that you said as well. But let's see. I'm going to go with the other Metroid game, though. I say Metroid Zero Mission, which I absolutely love, which is a really, really great remake of the original Metroid. And this was the first time we ever saw Zero Suit Samus also. It's got that extra part at the end with that cool stealth stuff where you get to crawl around and not do all the fighting that you normally do in most Metroid games. But yeah, Zero Mission is just such a great game. It's like so polished, like it's so much fun to play. Like I remember playing through it again right before Dread came out, like that.
Same.
When I was doing like a Metroid, because I went through Super Metroid and I did Metroid 2 also, the original one, not the remake, but and I played through this one, played through Zero Mission, and it's still fun as hell to play. I feel like
I enjoyed it.
It plays great. Like I think the pacing is great. Like just the way, and it has like cool kind of cut scenes with like big sprites and all that for different moments, and they added some new bosses in there, and it's just really cool. Like I always really like the way it plays. I still have a little cardboard stand thing that's like that big that's in my window over here that I got from a GameStop of Metroid Zero Mission. So I do have a little bit of an advertisement, little stand up of it.
A little bit
cool,
too.
which I shouldn't have put it in my window because now the back of it's kind of it's sun bleached. But every time I walk past it, I'm like, man, I shouldn't have put that in the window because now the back of it's like light blue and white. So I kind of downgraded the value of that. But it looks cool in here to look at it from this side. I just should have maybe covered up the windows. But then I can't see it from the street when I'm outside,
Worth it.
But anyway, it's great. Metroid Zero Mission, awesome game. I've played through it many times, and it's been...
I played through it on the Wii U.
It's been a charm every time. Oh, yeah. I think I got it on there, too. It might have been... I don't remember if I played it through one of those places on when Metroid Dread was about to come out.
But I was like you before Metroid Dread came out. I played Fusion. I played through Fusion. I played through Zero Mission, and I played through Super Metroid. And I think I've beaten Super Metroid twice now.
Actually, I think I think I played through Metroid, like NES Metroid, and then I played Zero Mission later after Dread, because I was trying to get through all of them, up to Dread.
Yeah.
So I did like 1 and 2 and Super Metroid. So I don't think I did Zero Mission until later, because I did do Fusion also, but I wanted to do like the original versions of them. But I did play through Zero Mission. It was just after the fact. But no, it's very, very good, and I like it a lot.
It's a lot more cartoony than Fusion, but I get why, because it's based on the original game. Like, and the sprites are like, I think, a little bigger.
Well, yeah, and they sort of had
a little floatier.
Yeah, well, they sort of had like the cut. They sort of had cut scenes, where you'd see like the big, like at the very beginning of it, you see like the big close up of Samus's face, like right when she comes down to the planet and all that. And I always liked the way it played and the way it moved and all that. It was really cool. Let's see, what else do I have on here that you haven't said? Oh yeah, how about a game called, speaking of Game Boy games that you can play 2-player with one Game Boy, Mario Golf Advance Tour. That's a big one that I played the crap out of. Actually, Jess and I played the crap out of that too. We were dating because we loved playing the golf games. But yeah,
that was the first game I bought after I bought my SP. My SP.
Oh yeah, first Mario Golf. Yeah, that Mario Golf Advance Tour, probably one of the best Mario Golf games, I think. But it's really
it's my favorite by far.
Really a lot of fun to play, and it's a shame it hasn't shown up on the Nintendo Switch Online yet. You would think we have Mario Golf Color, which is also really, really good, but I like this version too. So I mean they're very similar. Like it
is on the Wii U, but that doesn't help.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean I've played I played a lot more of Advance Tour. That was the only one I'd played. And then when I played the Mario Golf on Game Boy Color later, I was like, oh, this is the same as Advance Tour, except before.
Right. I kind of wish I would have played the Game Boy Color one first.
I mean, the Game Boy Color one is awesome. Like, they're both really good. You just see a lot of the same things, except the Advance one looks better, But yeah, 2-player, you can play 2-player, whatever you'd call it, hot potato mode, hot swap, whatever it is. And we did that a lot, and it's really cool. It's like you hit one, I'll hit one. We just go back and forth. I miss games like that. And I don't think the sequel, the 3DS Mario Golf game, you couldn't do that on there either. I was so mad. It's like, come on, you could do it in Advanced Tour, and there's no 2-player hot seat gameplay for that, like on the 3DS one. That 3DS one was a big letdown coming out after
I remember
Advanced
you saying
Tour.
that.
Like, yeah, it was sad. I was so excited about that game, and it's not even close. It's like it's nowhere close to as cool as Advanced Tour was. They kind of just did completely away with the RPG story mode, and I don't even think there's really much of a single player on that game. It was all about the 3DS Online, and I was just like, I don't know. It looked great, but it just didn't have as much modes as the other games did. So I didn't play it as much. It's just a bummer. It was a big bummer. But what's not a bummer is whatever my next one is on here. Let's see. What have we not said yet? Oh, speaking of haptic feedback, actually this one doesn't have it, but the original one did. But anyway, I just wanted to mention it because it's really fun, and I played the crap out of it. Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire, the sequel to the original Pokemon Pinball game, but I also played the crap out of that one. And
that one had a rumble, but you had to put batteries in it, right?
Well, the Game Boy Color one had a rumble, but the Game Boy Advance one did not, which is unfortunate. It's just a regular cartridge. I have it. I got it behind me. It's just a regular Game Boy Advance cartridge. But the original pinball one had a rumble that you had to put batteries in. The Game Boy Color one, but the Ruby and Sapphire one is just as cool. And I played the crap out of that. And there's no reason why that game should not be on the Switch by now. I figured we would have seen either of them. We would have seen the Game Boy Color one or the Game Boy Advance one. Get on that, Nintendo.
I am kind of surprised, yeah. With all they released Golden Sun, why can't they release that other Camelot games?
Well, didn't they put Pokemon Puzzle League on there, the Game Boy Color one?
I don't think so.
Oh, well. It was on 3DS. You could get it on there, which I did get it on there. But I was like, I mean, they did put the Pokemon trading card game for Game Boy Color on there. I'm just saying they seem to be pretty, and I think didn't they put one of the mystery dungeons on there, like some other weird like Pokemon Game Boy Advance game. But I'm just saying they like putting the side Pokemon games on there, so put fucking pinball on there. Like, I'll play the crap out of it again. I would too. It's really, really fun. Those were the first video game pinball that wasn't based on a normal pinball game that I really, really got into. Before Metroid Prime pinball or whatever. It was Pokemon pinball for me. That was the game that I just played just over and over and over again. And the Game Boy Advance one was real good. I liked it better than Ruby and Sapphire. That's why they're not on there for me. I did. That was I was like, I should put a Pokemon game on here, but I don't really like any of the Pokemon Game Boy Advance games. Well, I never played the remake of Red and Blue, or the Leaf Green and Fire Red. Maybe those are great, but I haven't played them.
It might be.
But yeah, that's 2, right? Yeah. No, 3. That's 3. Okay. So what else do I have on here? Oh yeah, I should mention the game that I mentioned earlier. I felt like it had to be on my list because it's my favorite one of all of them, and that's Fire Emblem, the Game Boy Advance game, the original one. I love that game. I think it's one of the best looking Game Boy Advance games. The animations are so good on that. The animations and the music and the story and the characters are just stellar. I think it's the best Fire Emblem game out of all of them. It's the only one that I've beaten. It's definitely the one that I love the most. And when I bought my Game Boy Advance SP and played that for the first time, I was blown away. I was like, oh my god, this is one of the coolest things ever.
That was the first Fire Emblem game that came out in the US, right?
It was, yeah. Or Fire Emblem Blazing Blade, I guess is the subtitle, but it doesn't have that here because we've never had never had a Fire Emblem game, so it's just called Fire Emblem. But I love that game so much, and it's still those animations still blow me away. Just looking at the way, and I don't think they've been as good since then. Those sprite animations were so cool, and they never really got there. They never really got back to that. But
yeah, but does it make you horny Three Houses?
Have you seen Lynn from Fire Emblem? Have you seen her? She's
not recently.
As they say in Monty Python, she's got large tracts of land. No,
that's cool.
No, there's some very busty looking people in the Fire Emblem game.
That makes sense.
Now they still made super hot characters in there.
Even
yeah.
Roy.
I don't know. Say I don't think Roy's in that one. Is he?
Marth?
Or no? I think it's the red-haired guy, but Martha's from the first game. Is from Fire Emblem One, the Famicom game. But I thought the dude, I want to say Eliwood, but I'm not sure if he's in that.
I only know
or
Marth
the
and
other
Roy.
one. Yeah, no, it's Eliwood. Yep, it's Eliwood. Eliwood is the red-haired dude that's on there.
Adel.
But yeah, no, not him. But Lynn's the one that you start with, and she's cool. Look her up. So that's how many is that? Is that 4?
That's 4.
All right. So what should I pick for number 5? I think I'm gonna pick it just because nobody said it. But what about Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap? That was a game that I enjoyed. I know.
Not my favorite Zelda game, but it's okay.
I mean, but it is the only like original Game Boy Advance Zelda game on there. And I know like some of the Kinstone
Besides
stuff
Four Swords
can get a little annoying, but I really enjoyed like just the aspect of making things bigger and like larger and smaller, mostly shrinking down and having things, giant sprites and all that fun stuff. I thought it looked really good. And
yeah, you liked the whole mini major.
I do
gameplay experience.
I do like the Pikmin experience or that sort of thing. I do like being able to shrink down.
Chibi Robo
And the Gus Jar, wasn't that the beginning of the Gus Jar? Was in Minish Cap. First time we saw that guy, where it sucks and blows at the same time, like something out of Spaceballs. But yeah, no, I Legend of Zelda Minish Cap was a lot of fun. I like that game a lot. And that was one of the first, like I said, that was one of the first gifts I got for Jess for Christmas was Minish Cap and Game Boy Advance. And they've actually mentioned it recently. Be like, I want to play through Minish Cap again. How do I do it? And I was like, well, sign on to my account and use NSO because I don't think they have the expansion pack, just the regular one. But
I did actually, I did finally finish Minish Cap on Switch Online, so I have played through it now. When I was on the final boss when I stopped playing originally, and with save states, that last boss wasn't bad at all.
Oh yeah, that's 5 for me, right?
That's 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, you want to speak about games that had a last boss that made me quit it. This is another one that was originally going to be on my list, but we're just going to do extra ones now. I'm talking about Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. That was one I thought about putting on there just because I love the first part of it, but I hate that fucking boss at the end. And I had to save state to get through it on Nintendo Switch Online. But I did, and I fucking beat that fucker finally, but yeah, that was a game that I loved so much until I didn't. Until that final boss that I just hated, and I was like, well, because it has a part that where they, spoilers, but they like eat you and then spit you out, and you only got 1 hit point, and you have to dodge a bunch of shit, and so you can heal yourself. But even
it's
after
one of the
that,
first Bowser hybrids
that
we had before Bowsette.
Yeah, but even but even after that, even if you do get to where you can heal yourself, if you fuck up like the rhythm of jumping over stuff, like it does a lot of damage, and you can easily die if you're not paying attention. So it was just and it would even kind of like break a little bit on that part just because of. And now that I played through it again on Nintendo Switch Online, there's a lot of fucking glitches in that game. Like I remember there was a boss that I beat him too quickly and the whole game froze, so I had to wait for him to do a certain thing before I killed. Like, there's a bunch of shit you can break that game if you're, And I figured out if you collect like a whole bunch of mushrooms, you can super overpower like Mario and Luigi, which I did on the second playthrough. And I think that's why I ended up glitching that one part because I beat the guy too soon because he'll like disappear and then he won't come back if you do that. Like, and this is what I found on my own. I never saw anybody else report on it or whatever, but like the game is it's kind of a broken game, but I did love the, it went back to the RPG stuff that I liked. I mean, those Mario and Luigi games were my favorite RPG stuff, and it's a shame that, Brothership apparently wasn't that great, which I'd still like to give it a try sometime, but maybe if they do a Switch 2 version of it and sell it for $30 or something like that. But
yeah, we'll see.
But Superstar Saga, I love that one. It's probably still my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah, I don't know how I forgot. I think it's because it's been in my life recently enough that I'd forgotten about it because, it's on Switch Online, and then I own a copy of it, and I've never not owned a copy of it since it came out. And so I've always had access to it. I just kind of never forgot about it. Just always remembered it fondly. Still do.
I have 2 copies of it because I bought one for Jess, so I have 2 of them. Even though I already had one, and still just instead of just loaning mine, I bought a second one, so we have 2 of them.
Well, I thought I should definitely mention a Well, you can. Did you have more to say?
Well, I was going to say that's enough for that. But we can just alternate for the rest of our stragglers or whatever that we haven't mentioned.
Speaking of a game that came out recently, Mario versus Donkey Kong. He just came into the Switch Online.
Oh yeah,
that is one of the best Game Boy Advance games. I really wanted to put it in my top 5, but I didn't. But it was some of the most fun I had with the Game Boy Advance playing through that.
I forgot that was on there because I just jumped on the Game Boy Advance app on Nintendo Switch Online real quickly to just kind of look at what was on there, And it's like, oh yeah, you have a new game. And I was like, wait, what? And it's like, oh yeah, Mario vs. Donkey Kong. It's like I forgot.
Yeah, that was for the anniversary.
Yeah, it came when the other Virtual Boy games that I also haven't played are on there. I never played Mario Tennis or Clash, so
you're missing out.
And I also didn't look to make sure that I don't have Clash because I'm pretty sure I don't have it. But
you don't have Clash.
I don't think
I would have played it if you had it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I do because I don't remember ever having it. I don't know if I've even played it ever, but I should play it on my on my Virtual Boy so I could see if I remember it or not. That's what I should do, but. Just the pain of putting that thing on my head. I just don't want to do it.
I understand, but if nothing else, play it just to see that interesting Mario sprite. All those sprites are just so such a bizarro version of them,
Yeah, no, I do definitely want to play it. And yeah, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, that is a real fun game. Has a really, really cool boss at the very end, which I like. And let's see, what's some extra stuff? I think I got a couple ones on here that I haven't mentioned. I just put it on here because it's one of my favorite Harvest Moons, but Harvest Moon Friends of Mineral Town is really good. It's basically like it's like another version of the 64 game because I have a lot of love for the Harvest Moon on 64 because I played that the most in college. And the Game Boy Advance game is pretty much that game again, but with more stuff. So I remember when we were at I don't remember if you were with me or not. I was at Midway's Gaming Classic, and I was talking to Bob Mackey from Retronauts at one of those meetups. But I don't remember if you had come that year or not. But anyway, I was talking. He was asking me about we were just shooting the shit. Be like, hey, what games did you get, or what were you looking for? And I was like, well, I really wanted to buy the 64 Harvest Moon, but it's really expensive because I used to have it in college, and I sold it or lost it or whatever. And he's like, well, you should check out the Game Boy Advance. Friends of Mineral Town because it's pretty much the same game with more stuff. And he told me that, and I ended up buying it on my Wii U and playing it on there. And yeah, it is. It is totally the 64 game, but not as 3D. It's more sprite based, but it still has the same characters. And
that might be better.
And it has more like modernization of it. And then there's actually there's a sequel to that one. There's Friends of Mineral Town, but there's also like more Friends of Mineral Town where they added a female protagonist, which was not there originally. But so there's two different ones. But I don't remember if I played that one or the sequel, but either way, it's a really good Harvest Moon Game Boy Advance game that I had a lot of fun with. So I had to mention that one on my list for extra ones.
Hell yeah.
And I think I only have like one more left if you don't have any. Did you say all
Yeah, I have one more that I have to mention because if I didn't, then I would probably just get stricken dead by the lightning that's going on outside.
Oh no, is it storming there? Oh yeah,
Urban Yeti, which I have complete in box.
Yeah, you should have met Jeremy back in the day. You were so into Urban Yeti. You were so excited about that game. We did.
I pre-ordered it. It's the only Game Boy Advance game I ever pre-ordered.
One of our few live shows that we did. You talked about Urban Yeti. It's on the Patreon, patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast.
Yeah, it's towards the beginning. It's one of our
listen
first
to our live shows there. But yeah, we did a live show where you talked about. Yeah, you talked about that Urban Yeti, and I talked about Doom 64, back before it ever got a re-release on Switch 1. Trying to build up the hype for Doom 64, and then it came around, and now people care about it. But I felt like I was the only one that did at the time. And
no one really cares about Urban Yeti now, though.
I think we did a sequel too, right, where I talked about Mystical Ninja 64.
Uh-huh.
I don't which one did you talk about? Do you remember?
Dino Wars, of course.
Oh yeah, Dino Wars.
Which is also back there on the wall.
Yeah. The
completed box.
The other Game Boy Advance game. This was basically one that I would love to see on Nintendo Switch Online. I don't know if we'll ever get it because it's not a Nintendo game, but this was on Wii U, and I had never played it until it was on Wii U, and I fucking loved it on Wii U. It's much better than the Mario Kart game on Game Boy Advance, which is not great. But I'm talking about Konami Crazy Racers. This game is fucking badass. I love this game. It's speaking of Castlevania. It's got Castlevania characters in there. It's got Metal Gear Solid characters in there. It's got Goemon characters in there. There's a ship from Gradius, like the ship from Gradius is in there too. It's fucking cool. I love Konami Crazy Racers. It's a great ass game. You can unlock, like I said, you can unlock characters from Mystical Ninja and Metal Gear Solid and all these other fun games. It's just
what was it called in Japan? It's like Wakami, or I had a different like YY or
oh yeah why because that's in the because that's the theme song, which I should
Okay.
put that at the end of this episode because it's like why racers. Yeah, it's got a
because
it's got a full vocal track on there on Game Boy Advance, which I thought was pretty cool. But
I've only ever played this on emulator, but it was pretty fun when I did play of it.
I thought you played it on the Wii. I thought that you played it on my Wii U. I thought I'd showed it.
I might have, maybe I did.
Because I really liked it. Well, I had heard IGN gave it a great review, and I ended up buying it. But it's really good. Like, it's got a lot of cool shit in it, and you can play as like Dracula from Castlevania, like all this dumb shit. But I mean, I love it. Yeah, it's like I like all the.
And Mario Advance Tour is such a not good game. So.
It's definitely my least favorite Mario Kart game for sure. But this one even has the baseball players in there from the Konami baseball game. Like they're in there too. Like it's back when Konami was cool and they love their stuff. I mean, well, they are trying, they are doing a Goemon collection, Japan only, but they are trying to get some shit off the ground. So, and they did re-release some of those Castlevania games and they're doing a new one. So maybe we'll see Konami Crazy Racers get a re-release. But yeah, just like
and they did the Contra collections.
Yeah, just re-release it as like a $10 game or 15 or whatever. It's worth the price. Like it's a fun ass game, and then it's very good like 2D, racing game. I also thought about like, F-Zero Maximum Velocity, which I actually didn't really like that much until I played it on Nintendo Switch Online and learned how to play it right. And now I actually think it's really good. And, the other stuff like a GP Legend, which is really hard. It's hard to get very far in that, but I do like all the story stuff around the characters in that. And the other F-Zero game that wasn't released was on there.
I think we were pretty good at not listing remakes of Super Nintendo games, but there were so many good Super Nintendo games on the Game Boy Advance.
Well, yeah, that was that was just a rule that I made for myself. I didn't want to mention
same.
any re-release stuff, even though you got a Link to the Past portable, you got Super Mario World,
which
portable.
had 4 swords, so that was the first like new Zelda.
And
Zelda.
and 4 Swords was fun too. It's just I just wanted to go for the more original Game Boy Advance only type things, but no, it was. I mean, I played the crap out of the Super Mario World that was on there because
all the Super Mario Advances are fun. Like even
though the Yoshi one's kind of a little broken in parts. It's
Touch Fuzzy get dizzy, not so much.
Yeah, the Touch Fuzzy doesn't work quite right, but it's still fun because that game's great. But I mean, Super Mario World is probably my favorite 2D Super Mario game of all time. So it was nice to have another place to play it.
I thought they made 3. They made the Mario 3, which was it Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario 3, maybe.
Oh yeah, and
that was a really good one. It had like you could save after every level, and it was just kind of nice. Like it was like more like Mario World.
Did that ever show up on? I don't think it ever showed up on Nintendo Switch Online. Did it?
It didn't.
I got it on Wii U.
It had extra levels that you could play with the e-reader, but those eventually did come to Mario Maker.
I think they put them in something. Maybe it was Mario Maker. They were on there.
The first Mario Maker.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was a good one. I remember I got the Super Mario Brothers 2 one just because they love that game so much. So
that was really fun too.
I got the Super Mario Advance 1, Super Mario Brothers 2. All those. They were
gotta turn the volume
confusing.
down.
Yeah, very confusing on the titles there. But I got that one just for Jess to play because they like Mario 2 so much.
And you could play the original Mario Bros on every single one of them.
Yep.
Including, wasn't it on, didn't Mario and Luigi have it on there too?
Oh, yeah, no, it did. Yeah, it's like on all of it. It's so not fun to play.
It's a strange time to live.
Yeah, it's not fun to play, but it's there. Hey. Yeah, no, Game Boy Advance is awesome. They put some more games on Nintendo Switch Online for that, or just re-release them, whatever. I mean, I love that little system. I mean, I guess I don't have as many as you. How many do you have, Jeremy, of your Game Boy Advance varieties? You have a few of them, right?
I've not as many as I used to, but I think I have. See, I have 2 of the regular ones, and then I want to say, like maybe 6 or 7 of the AGS 101s. So not as many as I used to. I used to have like 15 of them, but given away as gifts and stuff over the years. But I still got all my favorite ones.
Yeah, you got some. Didn't you have the yellow? Didn't you have like the yellow one or?
I have the SpongeBob one.
Yeah, the SpongeBob one.
Yeah, I can show you.
Because I have right behind me, I have 5 Game Boy Advances.
Oh wait, it's over. It's in the other room. But yeah,
But I have a stack of portables right next to my TV right behind me. And I have 5 Game Boy Advances. I still have the original Game Boy Advance with no light, the handheld one, the top loader, whatever. I have my original Game Boy Advance SP that I bought. I have the Game Boy Advance SP that I bought for Jess, and I have the 2 modded Game Boy Advance SPs that you got for us for our wedding. So those are my 5 Game Boy Advances. And I got the GameCube Game Boy Advance player, which plays all Game Boy games at the time.
Yeah, I bought that at the first because I had lost it, or I don't know. I didn't know why I didn't have it anymore, but I had bought it at the first MGC I went to for $60. That was such a good deal. You're never going to get it for that cheap again.
Oh yeah, I got mine for free.
With the demo disc. Well, you did better than me.
Well, I got mine for free, but it didn't come with the disc, which was pretty funny. It didn't come with the boot disc, and they're like, "Oh, you'll never find one." I bought one for $20 at the time, but this was a long time ago. This was like, I don't know, 2012, something like that. It feels like forever ago. But no, because I did the dumb choice of giving my GameCube away to my ex-girlfriend. It was a dumb idea. So I had to buy another one.
Somebody has had to at some point in time modded the GameCube to play it without the boot disc.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Wait,
I've never read or heard about it, but I wonder if it's a thing.
But whenever I bought a GameCube for myself again. I think it was like 2012 or something like that. I bought it for $40, and it came with a Game Boy player, and the guy was like, "You can have it because it doesn't have a boot disc." It's like when my stepbrother gave me his Dreamcast because it had no plugs. And he thought it was worthless because it didn't have a power cable or an AV cable. And then I went and bought a power cable and an AV cable for like $5. And
you probably already had an AV cable.
And I had a new Dreamcast. You know, well, I mean, I just went to a used place and got it for real cheap. And I was like, hey, I got a Dreamcast now.
Because the Dreamcast, like for a long time, you bought those like adapters that had the 3. You could buy the ones that had the 3, and it was like. It's like Xbox, GameCube, and Dreamcast.
Oh yeah. I have a couple of those. Yeah, that have the different. Well, I think mine is like the PS2. It's like PS2, GameCube, Xbox. I don't think I have one with Dreamcast, but yeah, some of them did. Some of them did have that. But yeah, moving on from there. I know we've talked a lot about Resident Evil because Resident Evil 9 just came out and all that. I just thought we would talk about it. Just mention again because March 22nd is the 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
Of Resident fucking Evil. That's pretty wild. I'm sure I said it before, but I thought we could just say our origin stories of their Resident Evil. The first time I played Resident Evil 1 was in high school when I traded my 64 with my friend Paul in high school. And it was like, let's trade systems for a week. Traded my 64 for a PlayStation 1. And, we did all the hits. Resident Evil 1, Tomb Raider, Parappa the Rapper. I don't think...
nice.
Oh, yeah, Final Fantasy VII, obviously. Had to try out that game back when I thought it was good still. But I hadn't played through it all the way. But, and when Resident Evil 1, I just thought was really, really cool. I remember mixing all the chemicals together to kill the plant creature. I thought that was so fucking cool. I'd never seen anything like that in a game before. It just blew my mind. And, yeah, the opening scene where you see the dead guy on the ground with the zombie, like in the FMV CGI stuff, whatever. It was just like, this looks so cool. And yeah,
they had the slow motion going until like the loading screens were going through the door really slowly.
Yeah, the doors opening, which I was like, oh, that's loading. That's why they do that. But it's still like, if you play through the game, it's still very, very intense for that part. But I love horror movies, and I hadn't really played a whole lot of horror games aside from like Castlevania, but nothing like Resident Evil. Where it's like a zombie movie with cops or whatever, and super cheesy, but awesome. I mean, we didn't even think it was cheesy at the time. Like, we thought it was just cool, With
a resource economy that made it to where I didn't really want to play it. Like,
because
I bounced off of Resident Evil so hard because of that. Like,
because of the survival aspect of it with the
running
ammo
out of
shortage.
stuff. Yeah. And I don't know. and it scared me too much. Like I didn't play Resident Evil until the remake on GameCube, and I remember I was playing that literally in a cabin in the woods.
That was
And
scary
it
too,
was just
though.
too much. That was too much.
Yeah, that one was scary too. Like, I remember I was in college, and yeah, I'm sure I mentioned this before. Like, I had got some extra money from family members, and I realized I had enough money to buy Resident Evil on GameCube, so I went out and got it. And also, I met John through Resident Evil because a mutual friend of ours that was buying weed for my roommate. He was like, I'm gonna go. He's like, I'm gonna go watch somebody play Resident Evil on GameCube, and I was like, wait, what? What are you going to do? He's like, yeah, I'm going to go. I was like, can I go with you? So I could go see what it was. And it was John who was playing Resident Evil on GameCube. And then I got it after that later. And it wasn't as scary as playing in a cabin in the woods. But my roommate, one of our roommates had like this camera thing that he put like outside of our door.
Uh-huh.
So he was like always recording the hallway. And when like nobody was in it just made really weird creaky noises when everybody opened their door or closed it in the hallway at the dorms. And I had that fucking camera on, and I'm playing like Resident Evil on GameCube by myself in the living room, and with the lights off, and it just was creepy. It was always just scary to me. I'm like, and that camera thing just added to it, made it
That's kinda cool,
made it
actually.
even freakier. And I was like,
That was Brian who did that, right?
yeah. Brian put the camera in the hallway so we could see whenever people knocked on our door. But it had a speaker. It had like a microphone on the camera, and he had a speaker on his computer, so you could always hear the hallway, and it had this kind of like ghostly, echoey, like sound of the doors opening and closing, and even when nobody was there, it would kind of creak,
that dorm
and
was
it
kind
had
of
this.
creepy anyway.
Yeah, supposedly there was a fire there, and I don't know. I thought I saw some shit at one point, so
Same.
we both thought we had seen maybe some ghosts that I never really hadn't thought about in a while. But yeah, I thought I maybe saw some stuff at one point, or maybe I was just very imaginative. Who knows? But yeah, it had a weird feeling to it. That area did. But yeah, Resident Evil 1 is great, and I'm glad they're full on Switch now. And happy 30th. I thought we'd just do like a quick top 3. I know I said it before, but my number 1 game is the GameCube game, is the GameCube remake for Resident Evil 1. That's my number 1, and I'd say, I don't know, I was like, my number 2 is probably Village, Resident Evil Village, still. And then 3 is Requiem, I guess. I mean, Requiem seems too new for me to put it like that high, I guess.
It's okay if you liked it, though. I mean,
no, I like it a lot, but I mean, it hasn't sat with me enough to make it number 1. Like, I love Village. Village is dumb, but I like that game a lot. Probably because there's fucking vampires and werewolves in it, but it's fun. Even the dumb baby thing that I don't like. But yeah, no, I'd say Resident Evil Remake, Village, and we'll put Requiem on 3. I thought about putting Revelations 2 in there because I really like that one too. But
yeah, I'm kind of surprised you didn't.
Yeah, that was my original plan. We could say that my original one was RE Remake, Village, and Revelations 2 was my original top 3. So
well, my top 3 is not as good because I've only beaten 3 Resident Evil games and 2 of them are the same game. But so I'm gonna say my favorite is definitely the Resident Evil 4 remake. That game slaps. It's so good.
Yeah, I've only played the demo, so I'm hoping to play all of it whenever it comes to Switch.
In second place is the original Resident Evil 4 on GameCube. It's my favorite place to play it, and then Village probably. But those, like I said, that's the only 3 I've actually played through to completion. So that's probably why I like them.
Yeah, well, we've talked about it before. I mean, I hadn't beat as many, but I beat 3 Resident Evils like in like 3 weeks because I got the Revelation because the Generations pack. Because I'd already beat Village, but I beat 9 and 7, so I got to add. But I've only beat Resident Evil 1, Revelations 2, and Village and 7, and Requiem, and I also beat the Light Gun games. Actually, I think I only beat Umbrella Chronicles. I don't think I got through Dark Side Chronicles, but I did beat Umbrella Chronicles, and that game was fun. I thought about going through it again.
I like it. Yeah, I've got both of those on the Wii.
Yeah, it was.
I could play.
I played a lot of the Wii one, the first one. I have the second one, but I didn't play it as much. But yeah, happy birthday, Resident Evil. Resident Evil. But yeah, I just thought we'd do some quick news stuff.
News. Don't snooze or you miss the news.
I just want to talk about the releases because we talk about it every week, and there's a lot of them. We got Damon and Baby coming out for $20. This was one of those Sony State of Play announcements. There's a demo available for it, which I downloaded, but I'd like to try it out. I know it's supposed to be like a cooperative action thing, but with single player. I know people seem to like it. It's got good reviews. Kena Bridge of Spirits, which was a PlayStation 5 launch game or something, is coming to Switch this week. It's on sale right now for $31.99, marked down from $39.99 till the 2nd of April. So you still got time to get that if you want to get the sale, and it's that Switch 2 only version. Once again, I'm interested to see what people think about that, because it kind of looks like a game I might be into, but there's just too many games coming out. This is one I put on here just because it totally looks like a weird WarioWare game. It's called Woochi Math Home Run, and it's it's like a baseball game, but it looks like a WarioWare baseball game. So like you do different math problems and you hit home runs and stuff like that, but it looks silly. It looks like the WarioWare silliness, and it's got a cool animation for it. I should have put a link to it on there, which I didn't. Just go to Nintendo.com and look it up if you want to see what it is. But no, Woochi, check it out. It looks like one of those fun Woochi Math Home Run. It's a fun, silly Japanese game. That it's only $4.80. It's very cheap. There's the link to it on the eShop if you want to look at it for the Woochi Math Home Run.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's hard to find. I Googled it and it wasn't showing up.
Oh, I don't think it's gonna show up on Google. I don't think anybody knows about it, but unless you check the eShop. But that's what it is.
Wish they had video of it running, but
yeah,
it does look pretty.
Yeah, there's no video, but it looks very much like a WarioWare.
Very
game.
chibi.
I thought about just checking it out because of the it looks like that art style, like Rhythm Heaven, WarioWare type stuff, and it's less than $5. Cheap. What else? We got Virtual Fighter 5 Revo World Stage coming out this week for $20 for the base version, and there's a deluxe one for $50. I saw a friend of the show who's been playing that probably for a review, so maybe we'll have him on in the future.
It's quite a difference for the deluxe version.
Yeah, you get a bunch of DLC shit for it. One of them being where you can play all the characters in their original, like like the way they looked from Virtual Fighter 1, which I think is cool. But I don't know how much. I don't think I want to pay $30 extra for that. But yeah, Virtual Fighter 5, great. It's great. It's an older game. I played it a lot on PS3 back in the day, but the Revo version is is obviously a reworked game that's more modern. But those games are fun as hell to play. They kind of remind me of like Tekken in that way, but I always liked the original Virtual Fighters. It's kind of more combo based versus like Street Fighter fireballs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Taito Milestones 4 is coming out for $29.99, marked down for $26.99 till the 2nd of April. I don't know. There's so many of these Taito games on here. I just thought it'd be funny to just put it on here. Bunch of games I've not heard of. 10 games in one game. Water Ski, Field Day, Typhoon Gal, Arkanoid, I know that one. Bond's Adventure, Curry Keaton, Sivalion, Don Dokodon, Semmeltree, and the Ninja Kids.
I think it's Camel Tree.
Oh, did I say Semmeltree? Camel Tree, yeah. Camel Tree and the Ninja Kids. Yeah, a whole bunch of games that nobody's heard of, but
all the Taito super fans are going to be stoked.
Buy them for $30, yeah.
If you like Bubble Bobble, then play all these other ones.
Yeah, Don Dokodon, the sequel to Doki Doki Panic or something. Yeah, no, it's the only one I know is Arkanoid. It's just funny to see the actual games on there. It's like, wow, Field Day and Water Ski. You sign me up. How many of those games?
I'm going to have a field day with that one.
Midnight Walk is also coming out this week for $30. That's that cool-looking clay first-person shooter that looks like a Tim Burton movie or a movie that Tim Burton produced that he didn't do as much in it as you think. But, a Nightmare Before Christmas type movie. But another friend of the show, different friend of the show I saw is playing this one. So we might have a couple of friends of the show playing some games from this week early. So maybe we could talk to him in the future. I'm really interested in Midnight Walk. I thought it looked really, really pretty. So that was kind of one of those that was like, oh, I want to get that one, but we'll see, because like I said, there's a lot of games coming out. But one game I'm not getting for sure is Super Mario Wonder plus Meet Me in Bella Bell Park, which is coming out this week for $20 if you already have the game, or $80 if you don't, if you want to get the Switch 2 version. I have not watched any reviews about it or anything. I probably won't, but I'm sure I'll hear talk about it on a podcast or something. I'll be interested.
Kind
to
of
see
surprised that the cheese Baby Bell didn't do some sort of cross promotion with this.
Oh, the Baby Bell cheese.
Meet me in Baby Bell Park.
Baby Bell Park, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, Super Mario Wonder. It's
Don't
coming
care.
out. I think like isn't Mario the Galaxy coming out next week? Next Wednesday?
Yeah, it's April 1st, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like next week. Blah. But yeah, Super Mario Wonder, whatever, is out now. I do have I think John Wedgeworth got it. So I'd be interested if he plays, how much. I think he got it because he plays a lot of multiplayer with his kids and all that. So,
yeah.
I'd be interested to hear what he thinks about it. Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection coming out for $40. I never played any of these games or heard of them, but I think it's funny to read what they are. So there's 7 games included in here. We got Mega Man Star Force Pegasus. We got Mega Man Star Force Leo, Mega Man Star Force Dragon, Mega Man Star Force 2 Zerker X Ninja, Mega Man Star Force 2 Zerker X Saurian, Mega Man Star Force 3 Black Ace, and Mega Man Star Force 3 Red Joker. I don't know. They're all like are they supposed to be similar to the Battle Network games?
I think
something like that? Yeah. I never played any of those. I think by that time I was done with Mega Man. I mean, I think I got like the what was it? The YZ collection, or there was a DS collection that came out for Switch that I got and played that was pretty cool, but that was all like more traditional Mega Man stuff. I never really did these like more RPG looking ones. But it's just funny to list out all the games that are on there. And supposedly Marvel Maximum Collection is coming out like tomorrow, but it still is MIA on the eShop. It's all I know is that the release date's the 27th, which is almost like 20 minutes away from being a day away from now. So you guys should get that going, because I feel that I have to get this game. As I've said before, I have to get it so I can beat Maximum Carnage on stream, because I failed when I tried to do it before. And I've done it, and I need to prove it to myself and to everyone who watches, and to the 5 people who will watch it on YouTube. But yeah,
all the Twitchiverse.
But everyone needs to know that I can beat Maximum Carnage, because I've done it, I swear. But yeah, no, however much that game is, I'll get it. Hopefully it's not $30. I'm hoping it's $20 or less. But I'm committed to getting it. But yeah, that's the big releases for this week. And I just had a couple things that I wanted to say news-wise, and then we can, sign off. But there's a big Xbox event happening this Friday, and what I think is really interesting about it is there's supposed to be 2 big Sega appearances there. One of them being Persona 4. What's it called? Revival? Whatever the new Persona 4 is. I don't remember. They all have R's after them. It was Persona 3 Remake. Anyway, the Persona 4 game, whatever it's called, is supposed to be at the Xbox, whatever they call it, which I think is interesting because, Xbox is kind of circling the drain now, right? They're kind of...
for sure.
They're not doing so great, but it kind of reminds me of like back in the day when they hired like Akira Toriyama and like Yuji Horii to do that Blue Dragon game or whatever, like as an Xbox exclusive to try to win over Japanese players. Do you remember that? Like way back in the day?
Yeah.
It was basically Dragon Quest, but as an Xbox exclusive. Apparently it was good. I never played it because I never owned an Xbox, but it had like the Dragon Quest people working on it, and then, and you could tell it was Akira Toriyama art and all that stuff. And they were really trying to pull people on there. And just the fact that they're saying that they got two big like Japanese series are supposed to make a showing here. One being the Persona 4 game, which we've only seen like just a teaser trailer of at an Xbox showcase thing, is pretty major. And the other thing is the next Yakuza game that's not a Yakuza game, and that's Stranger Than Heaven, which is like, a game in the style of the Yakuza games, but taking place in a different part of time. And I don't think Kiryu or Ichiban or Majima or anybody is going to be involved in it. But it has like that realistic feel to it. And they've been working on this one for a while. It was announced like a few years ago, and I would love to see more of it. The last I saw about it was just that they were still working on it during they did a Kiwami 3 Direct that it was shown on that some more. But, you know, after watching the Yakuza show on YouTube, I mean, it really just made me want to go back and play Kiwami 3 more because I never beat it. And I was just looking at that. I was like, it's making me miss the Yakuza that I haven't played it in a while. It makes me want to go back and beat it. But, you know,
Makes sense you need to take a little Yakuza break.
Made me miss the old Kamurocho of video game world. And the other thing, which is a pretty major announcement, Nintendo announced that going forward after the release of Yoshi, they're going to have different prices for their physical games and their digital games. So when the Yoshi game comes out, it's $60 for digital and it's $70 for a cartridge. So maybe they're trying to are they trying to do away with their cartridges by doing an upsell there?
I think so because all the game companies are trying to move away from having to make their own physical media. So it's like the margins are so much higher when you have to make a physical game. So it's like maybe this is what they're like. They're like, okay, let's really test out and see if people actually mean it that they're gonna only buy physical. Let's make it a little more expensive, and then maybe they'll manufacture more physical games if enough people buy these. But we'll see. I don't know. I think it's kind of dumb because it's one thing to call it like a special edition and charge extra for it, but if it's literally the same game, that's kind of fucking stupid.
I mean, I did actually read somewhere that this has already been a thing in Japan, that they've already been selling their physical games there for more. So,
well, there you go. Then
it's not really going to affect me because I don't buy physical games, but
I don't that often. But I'm starting to lean more in that direction for future-proofing my collection more.
Sure. I mean, I guess I have said that like it would be nice if there were more Switch 2 games that were on cartridge, just because some of these games are fucking huge and it's hard to get all of on our systems here. So, you know, and Nintendo was, you know, is like is probably the company that sells the most physical copies because a lot of the Nintendo fans are really into owning it on cart and having it on a shelf or whatever like that. So it's weird for them to kind of, you know, because Nintendo made ones were like the only ones that had like the full game on the cart, right? So it's kind of weird for them to be like, all right, well, we're going to start hiking it. So does that mean that I don't think it? I've seen people say this online, but I don't think it's true. Saying that like Mario Kart World's going to be $90 now and then $80 online. It's
my god,
that seems like fucking stupid. That seems like a dumb idea.
They still need to justify why Mario Kart was $80. They still haven't done it.
I mean, if they're going to do, I figured they would just sell the physical at $80 and then drop the digital down to $70 or something like that. But
but that's kind of admitting that fucked up.
But if they're going to do $80 and $90, that's fucking dumb. So dumb. Do not get a physical copy of Mario Kart World for $90. That's ridiculous. You can get Sonic Racing Cross Worlds with the full pass for that amount, which has a new demo now. It has an updated demo, which I think I saw. I saw faith
they're gonna do something special with World, but I'm surprised we haven't got any sort of news about it.
They're going to do something. Yeah, I'm interested to see how this new pricing plan's going to pan out, but it's going to kind of screw John over because he was all like, I want to buy physical for all the Nintendo releases, and now everything's jumped up $10 for everything on there. So, yeah, I don't know. It's I have a hard enough time finding places for the things that I do own. I'm kind of past buying physical versions of anything. So
I understand, and for me, it's just about the blatant exploitation of the whole thing.
Yeah,
that's what I don't like.
Yeah, it seems like you're gonna. Yeah, are you just trying to just make it all go away?
Because they're probably still going to be key cards.
Well, but
they didn't say they were going to change that.
Yeah, but the Nintendo ones aren't. That's the thing. Like the first party ones, and this is just from Nintendo, like doing the price up. But their cards aren't key cards. Like, well, I guess Pacopia is, but that's like that's not directly from Nintendo. But I mean, like, you know, everything they've released has been on the card, like Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza and whatnot. Those have not been key cards. So it's been mostly the third-party developers that are doing it. But speaking of key cards, was it Mouse PI for Hire is going to be full on card, and so is Super Meat Boy 3D. So there you go. There's two third-party games that are not going to be key cards. I saw people being happy about that online. So good for that. But yeah, aside from that, I think we can call it here because that's enough news for me. I don't,
Samesies.
I was trying to see. I mean, the only big thing I really care about is the Yakuza and Persona at the Xbox thing.
But Xbox is literally like, I was just trying to think of an analogy, and we were talking about video game commercials on one of our bonus episodes, and it was the one where like the kid's playing the Game Gear and the other kid's playing the Game Boy, and he wants to see colors, so he hits himself in the head. And I'm thinking that's kind of what Microsoft is doing, and they're hitting themselves in the head over and over again, except when they look around, they just see Xboxes replacing all the things in the room. Like, everything's an Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be an interesting...
They're never going to live that down.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting move, I guess, to try to win people over, to be like, oh, we got exclusive Persona footage, but it's coming to everything, we all know that. Well, we don't know if it's coming to Switch 2 yet, but I'd be surprised if it didn't.
Circle in the toilet, the CEOs and the Epstein files, I don't give a shit.
Is he too? Whatever his name?
Bill Gates? Oh, yeah.
Oh, that guy.
He's one of the people who's in it the most.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I know that guy, but
I don't know if he's currently the CEO.
I thought the other. Who's the main guy who's stepping down for Xbox?
It doesn't matter. Like, I'm all about, like, because PlayStation gives us that. So if Xbox gives us some extra Switch news, then I'm all about it. But as far as Xbox,
Phil Spencer.
Fuck it.
Phil Spencer, that guy. I was like, Phil Spencer's in the Epstein files? Like, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but probably not.
But yeah, whatever. They're doing their thing. Oh, yeah, and Pokemon Champions is coming out in like 2 weeks, April 8th. So still not on the eShop, though, with its price. but it's got a release date, but it's not on the eShop. It was announced with a new trailer. So good for them. Maybe I'll check it out if it's cheap enough. But yeah, that has been our episode 513. Right? Hopefully I said it right in the beginning of last week. I said 413, or I said 412 last week. But I fixed it in the edit, so nobody noticed if they didn't listen to the Patreon version. But that's been episode 513. And if you like the show and you want to support us, go to patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast. And you can listen to that old episode of us talking about video game commercials that Jeremy just mentioned, and new episodes about us stealing games, which is not out there yet on the dollar feed version, but it will be soon enough.
Statute of limitations, baby.
Yeah, so it'll be out there soon enough. But yeah, there's that one, and there's another one where we talked about internet in the 90s, and there's all sorts of them. And at the $5 level, you can get...
There's one that's all about toilets and games.
Oh, yeah, that was like our episode 22 or something like that. It was something about twos. There was a reason.
Twos, yeah.
Maybe it was February. I don't know. It had something to do about twos. But yeah, we did do a toilet episode as well. There's lots of fun ones there, so check it out. But yeah, we have been your hosts. I'm Trey Johnson.
Jeremy Mikowski.
And thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next time.
See ya!
Probably the worst thing that we had that I remembered when I was peeing earlier, like 2 minutes ago, was the buffet at the One Piece place we went to in Tokyo Tower. That was probably some of the weirdest food that we had in Japan, because it was like a giant Monkey D. Luffy hat, like made out of eggs, and it was just not good. It was just,
oh my god,
it was like stuff just made to, same sort of thing. It was made to look like a thing, but it was not, did not taste good. So I definitely left food out for that, because it was a buffet and there was some weird shit there. I forgot about the fucking Monkey D. Luffy hat that we tried to eat that was not good. Yeah, it was like made out of scrambled eggs or something, because it's supposed to be like a straw hat. I don't know. It was weird. was like an omelet. It was like a giant omelet or something. I don't even
Uh-huh.
remember.
It's shaped like a hat,
Yeah, I don't even remember. It was fucking weird.
full of whatever the fruit is.
The devil fruit?
Yeah, devil
The
fruit.
devil fruit that give you superpowers, but you can't swim anymore. Yeah.